Okay, doctor's orders. Because we're all adults around here.
Doctor
That just
Downer.
means you can drunk faster. That's all that means. You have to drink that much less. And I mean, it's not like you're paying for it, so. I mean, you might pay for it in the morning. It is absolute. One shot won't hurt. Alright, let me go. There you go, waterfalling. There you go, put your lips on it, I don't care. I finished off Cameron's gift bottle. So I decided to be the bigger man and buy him a bigger bottle. Hey, that right, Cameron?
He was just gonna buy the regular size, and he was like, no.
Cameron just wanted the regular size, and I said,
I
no.
was just to replace it. That's all it was.
And I said, well, I'm gonna end up drinking it anyways. Why waste the money on a little bit of bottle? It's like how they get you at the movies, you know. For 25 cents more, you can get a small instead of an extra small, right? And for 50 cents more than that, you can get a large. For 25 cents more extra than that, you can get an extra large. And you know, for $1 more, you can get a large and a large popcorn. You go in paying $35 for a large drink and a large popcorn. They nickel and dime you. Yeah, I've finally gotten back into movie theater popcorn.
Son of a bitch! It's from all the dead workers that have died there. They just like when they grind them up, you know, when they burn them, they just put it on the popcorn. That's why it tastes so good.
Well, you know, all the sweat, and then you know.
They sweat into the popcorn kernels. Yeah, the teenage butter.
You know, they render out the fat from all the meat and stuff like that, and make a good bone broth, and mix it into the butter.
They just got some poor fat kid back there running on a treadmill, and they just got him. It's just draining him.
They distill the water to get all the salt out of the sweat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a distillery.
Sorry there's no camera today, guys. It's just gameplay and audio from our voices. Which
so it's going to be like a podcast, kind of.
Yeah, kind of like a podcast.
And you're just going to, so to keep you entertained, I'm playing horribly right now on Need for Speed Underground.
Yeah. In the air. Like that scene from Too Fast, Too Furious?
I wonder where they got that from.
When he screws up the Supra, and Soupy says, "Woo! Smack that ass!"
Her S2000 got destroyed.
Her S2000 got destroyed. I mean, not as bad as that. Was that the
yeah, it was the Supra, the gold
Supra, right? The gold Supra, yeah. Because the red one was the
RX-7. He didn't want to jump it. He didn't want to jump the bridge. Damn it!
Yeah. Bro crushed his suspension in that one, bottomed out, and never came back.
How you like them apples?
Boom! Applesauce. Was that Dogma or Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
You got me.
Oh no, Dogma was the Angels. They were already characters there. That's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when they were going on to the set of Blunt Man and Chronic, and they were filming.
Yeah.
Like, quotation marks. Good Will Hunting too.
Yeah. And he's just like shooting everybody.
Yeah.
That's probably the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah. That's so funny. I still haven't seen The Accountant.
Good Will Hunting is like hunting season.
Hi, Kiara.
I think that's what it was. I think it was hunting season. Or something
I'm sorry,
that.
Kiara.
Ah!
I didn't mean to curse. I'm sorry I don't have the cameras up. We're on a new computer system, and it's just not built for what we got going on, and I didn't have time to set up my other system. Maybe. Thanks for joining in, Jonathan and Kiara. It's good to see you. You can watch me crash like I do in real life. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Please keep this PG. PG.
I have to keep it PG.
We gotta keep it PG right now. So. My niece and older brother are watching.
Oh.
Tree hugger. You're the one that lives up north, you Yankee. All right, what are some PG movies we can talk about? So what about that new Moana? I still haven't seen the new Lilo and Stitch. Only seen the animated, yeah. I don't know, everybody keeps giving it bad reviews and I hate to listen to critics and stuff, but... Alright, good night, Kiara. Okay. I know she can't wait to go see Mom and Dad and Solomon and all the nieces. Yeah, when I get paid tomorrow, I'll just go ahead and pick up that computer because it's probably going to run a whole lot better. Oh, he meant hugging the tree with the cars. I've hugged a couple trees with a couple cars. Cameron's just replaying all my childhood traumas.
Yeah, he's having horrible flashbacks.
Oh no,
PTSD.
Yeah.
It's like Ghost of Christmas Past, but it's like, hi, I'm the ghost of PTSD.
Good times, good times.
Remember that one time you didn't wrap your car around a telephone pole? Well, we're not going to talk about that one. But
Yeah, I wrapped it around 2 trucks at the same time. Explain that one. On New Year's Eve. No, we don't condone of drinking and driving.
Who said
I
that?
definitely didn't wreck my car before noon. It was like 11:15. It's definitely before noon. AM. I went to chapter 11 at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
That always sounds like a good idea.
Oh, that's the best idea. Man, my bartender out there, she'll...
You know what made it even better is like, hey, I went to the bar at 7 a.m. in the morning and got breakfast.
And got breakfast.
With my Bloody Mary.
George's.
Or what is it, Crying Shame.
George's serves.
Oh!
And they'll serve you breakfast.
Well, yeah, they do brunch. No, they do breakfast. Yeah, they do breakfast.
They do breakfast. Get you a nice steak and eggs. And a liquid lunch. Yeah, I was going to drop my car off to finish day drinking with some buddies. And this truck pulled out in front of me. He pulled out of nowhere.
I swear he pulled out in front of me.
I had witnesses that were sitting in their front yard. And they were like, that truck pulled out of their driveway without looking.
Yeah, out of the same sidewalk that I was driving on.
He's driving on the same sidewalk as me.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you gotta share the road.
Apparently that's profiling.
Yeah, and profiling is wrong because they were stopping every car that was going down that particular sidewalk.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he pulled out his two lane road and just backed out without looking. And then I was like, oh no! For like 2 blocks, because it was a 93 Civic with the original rims and tires. Emphasis on the original tires from 93. Pizza cutters, no traction whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just skidded all the way. Hit his truck, picked my car up. Everybody, all the witnesses were like, your car was in the air. Are you okay? Because you just went through a wall. I just saw Gone in 60 Seconds last night too.
I love that. I love that chase scene.
Yeah.
Eleanor, that's really what got me into GT500s.
Yeah.
That and then All About the Benjamins too, I think. Or no, Money Talks.
Money Talks.
He had a GT500 as well. It was a convertible.
Yeah.
It was a 68 though, I think. It wasn't a 67.
Numbers. Yes.
Car. Fast motor. Don't look, it's got whatchamacallits.
Yeah.
Oh, I was messing with Sadi the other day. I think it was on Sunday. We were like driving back from somewhere, and then it's like these, I don't know who it was, but they were like looking at under the hood, and they closed the hood real quick, and I told Sadi, I was like, "Yep, it's an engine. I checked it. I checked the engine. Still there. Hadn't gone anywhere." And she's like, "Why would you say that?" Like she laughed, and then she got mad at me afterward.
I'm so glad I don't work for the parts stores anymore.
Oh yeah, the blinker fluid was always great.
Yeah, we always got those. Those are hilarious. But no, I'm also a mechanic, and I'm a pretty okay one.
Emphasis on the okay.
Emphasis on the okay. You know, I know just enough to get myself in trouble, but at least I can admit it. I got a funny story about our mechanic at work too.
That came in handy.
So, anyways, we if you work for one of the parts stores, they want you to give information away for free, which kind of takes out of the pockets of mechanics.
Well, yeah, they want you when they run the code, they want you to tell them what's wrong with it.
Like, and your supervisors for the parts stores are like, well, just give them that information if you know it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, no, because I know this information from years and years and years and years of experience, and I want to be able to get paid for my experience. If I'm just giving away all this information for free, then I'm not being able to make the money that I'm qualified to make. I don't mind helping somebody out every now and then or whatever, but there are people that take advantage of it. Well, anyways, somebody was like, "Hey, can you tell me what this noise on my car is?" And I'm like, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know about engines, which is obviously a lie, but they didn't know that. And so he finally convinces me to go outside, even though I tell him like I don't want to do this, I can't do it. He was like, "Well, you work at a parts store, you should know something." So I walk outside, and the motor's obviously got a knock to it. And he goes, "What's this sound?" And I was like, "I don't know. It sounds like a tick, 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 tick." I think it's a bomb. And he goes, "Well, you're no help." And I was like, "Well, yeah."
Well, you came to the wrong place, buddy.
I told you I wasn't going to be any help. What did you expect? This guy.
It's a big fat phony.
He's like, "You're no help. Why you acting like that?" I was like,
Did I do it? Yay!
Say, "Hey, look at my engine."
2 hours later.
All right, dude, I'm looking at your engine. Well,
it's an engine.
It's an engine. Thanks, Dick. And then he walks away. I don't know what you want me to do, dude. Like, you're not paying me to be a mechanic, so I'm not going to be a mechanic right now.
Big fat phony.
It was bad. Very bad. Very, very bad. So anyways, on to my next topic about mechanics thinking their fecal matter don't stink. We got this one guy who, I'm glad you can't see me on camera because you don't know who I am.
Hi, one guy.
And you can't see the name tape on my shirt that says where I work. Yeah. We got this guy at work, and we got some new guys, and he was trying to brag to these new guys about how he's the head mechanic, and I mean we only have one titled mechanic at the shop, so
everybody else
he's the head mechanic. Everybody else is a tire tech or management. And he was like talking crap about me about how I'm only 36 years old, and that he's He's 50, and he's been around longer than I am, so I don't know anything compared to him. And they were talking about how much stuff they've seen come back in the 2 weeks that they've been there, and the new kids. And the mechanic was like, "Oh well, I'm so good. I've never had anything come back." And our other assistant manager comes out. He's like, "You haven't had anything come back? What about this truck? That truck?" And he goes, "Well, somebody else touched it after me, so it's their fault." And we're like, "But it came back because you messed something up, not because it was messed up after that." And so he got mad about that. And then we get an alignment in later that day, and he works on the alignment. And he gets done with the alignment, and I swear karma has not worked any faster than it worked that day.
I swear to Christ.
I swear to Christ. This was like comedic how fast that car came back. He pulls it into the parking lot, he pulls it out of the alignment rack, puts it in the front so the customer can pick it up. Customer picks it up, pulls out of the parking lot, makes the turn. I still see the customer in the line of sight from the front window in the bay where I'm at. I can still see him from our shop. And the phone starts ringing. "Hey, our truck is pulling to the left really hard."
Really hard.
I could see him still like getting onto Valley Mills, and I'm like, "Okay, if you want to turn around and bring it right back, we'll get it back in the shop for you and get that all fixed up." The other manager was just waiting to go like tell the mechanic, "Hey dude, you gotta come back. That truck's messed up." He ran, and the other guy is a big dude. He ran outside. He was like, "Hey man, you gotta come back." Oh man, I wanted to die laughing so hard. Oh my god, it was hilarious. And then one of the new guys came in, and they were like, "Didn't we just see that truck?" And I was like, "Yeah, didn't he say he hasn't had any comebacks the whole time he works here?" Well, I guess this makes the first one. Like, oh my god. I don't expect people to be Jesus Christ or anything, but be humble. If you had comebacks, be like, "Hey man, I messed up here and there," But I've always tried to fix my problems. We always try to overcome what was going on. Sometimes it was my fault. Sometimes it was, the car is just being impossible right now. It's not that hard to admit that, hey, I was wrong. And sometimes it's better to admit that, okay, I don't know what I'm doing right here. Can somebody help me? Because that makes you look like you're willing to learn. You're willing to accept fault and move forward. I don't like when people think their shit don't stink. So that's why I made it that much funnier. Yeah, like I was like, oh man, like.
I think they used to line one tire.
You did what?
They used to line one tire.
Yeah. He tapped on the screen so everything went back in the green. He's like,
yeah, that was good enough.
The green, good enough. I have pictures of it in my phone, and I was like, you see that thrust angle right there? That's way off. Like, okay, you got the total toe close, but your thrust angle is like 20 degrees to the left. Of course it's gonna pull. It's like, okay, you can't. So if anybody doesn't know, and I know visually, you probably can't. I know you can't see it, but it's a four-wheel alignment no matter what vehicle you're on. Now, solid axle cars, you can only align the front two tires. Like if you're in a truck, basically, you can only adjust the front two tires. But if you hit something in the rear end and your axle is tilted or something, then you have to adjust your front toe camber and everything to that rear axle, so that way your thrust angle and it doesn't pull. If you align those straight to their natural or OE positions, well then your rear end is going to make the truck pull left or right or any different direction or feel funny or wear your tires. So if you hit something and it knocks your rear axle 2 inches over, well then you have to make sure your rear axle is pointing straight and your front end is pointing straight, and then it's going to look funny as shit because your rear axle is going to be completely off of the truck, but it's still going to drive straight. And that's what most people are looking for. But you also have to document that in the paperwork. You have to let the customer know that, hey man, there's something messed up back here that needs to be fixed. We're gonna line this so it drives straight, but you're gonna feel funny. I've seen TikToks and videos of cars that are look like they're drifting, but the axles are facing straight. The car's driving straight, no squeal or nothing like that, but the car's like pitched sideways, 45 degrees. And it's funny, but I mean, as long as you're not having any wheel hop or anything like that, it's aligned straight, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're doing alignments. And a lot of these technicians, glorified parts changers, not problem solvers. They don't want to talk to customers. They don't want to talk to their management. They don't want to talk to anybody and tell them, hey, this is messed up. I'm either not gonna align it. I don't care about the money, or if we align it, this is how the car is gonna look. So the customer needs to be aware that all of this stuff is messed up. It's still safe. It's just not. It's not gonna be factory settings anymore because all of your parts are messed up. Yeah, pretty much. That's crazy. And then technology's gotten so advanced that if you're not updating your
alignment machine too.
If you're not updating your alignment machine, you're not updating your scan tool every 2 to 3 months. New features are coming out on cars that you gotta adjust for brakes, for suspension. If you're working on anything foreign, it's got sensors for everything. Anything past 2022, you're gonna have brake sensors. You're gonna have suspension sensors. You're gonna have mileage sensors. You're gonna have sensors for sensors on sensors. Like, it's insane how much technology they have in these cars, which isn't necessarily bad. It's just expensive, and in today's economy, you can't afford to keep a car running with that many sensors. Your O2 sensor?
No, like the
Oh yeah. Yeah. O2 sensors are at minimum $100. At minimum. When I first got my S2000, I was upset because I was like, oh no. Anytime I go do anything, it's $100. I'm buying spark plugs. Those are $100 to change the spark plugs. $100 for an oil change because I only use full synthetic. It was, $100. $100 was the cheap end on parts that I had to buy for that car. Wild how expensive that is. And now I'm like, you drive a 2024 Honda Civic, so $100 to change anything on that. Brake pads, $100. Shoot. If you go to a shop to get your brakes changed, $250 minimum. That's with the sale. We're at like $289, $299.
Well, and that's the cheap brake pads too. That's not even the good ones.
Oh no, we only do ceramic golds.
Well, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about these other shops. You're paying $250 and they're putting the cheapest shit
yeah,
they can
they're
put on
putting
it.
the lowest silvers.
Or whatever, whatever it is.
They're putting red box on there. Yeah, no shit. I was like, it's crazy being I guess what you'd call a shade tree mechanic or an at-home mechanic, and thinking about the prices that you would charge people just because you didn't really know. You see a shop's charging $250 after being a mechanic for 10-15 years, and you're like, holy shit, like brake pads were $20, $25, $24.99. I could walk into O'Reilly's or Advance and get a decent set of brake pads. $35, I can buy a set of premium pads. 6 months ago, right? 10 years ago, you're spending $19 for a decent set of pads, $24.99 for a set of gold pads, ceramic pads or whatnot. Not bad, all right. So you're looking at $25 there, And then, I was like, oh yeah, 20, 40 bucks. Give me 20, 40 bucks. And back when gas was like $1.50 a gallon, but back in my day. But yeah, so it's like, holy crap, they're paying 50, 60 bucks, 75 bucks max for a set of brake pads. That's wild. And now I'm seeing people paying $300 for a pad slap for just the front pads, just the rear pads. And I'm like, holy crap. I mean, I get it. They got to pay for the shop for all 5 days. For
well, it's just labor rates have gone up ridiculous now.
Yeah, labor rates are ridiculous, but I mean, even that labor rate is still insane. The average labor rate, and I think we're on the bottom end of the labor rate. We're 249, so it's or 149.
Yeah, I think it's like 175.
I think 175 is the average labor rate.
Yeah.
180. It's probably been that way for the last 5 to 10 years, but that labor rate isn't. It's extremely high. A lot of people are like, oh, does the mechanic see that? And I was like, no, the mechanic, even when we were at Ford, the diesel mechanic was getting paid $40 an hour maybe.
Something like that,
and that's flag rate. So unless he flags 40 hours, he's not getting paid
another
$40 an hour, right? For his clocked in time.
Yeah.
So like that's a toss up. But even then, the mechanic's flagging $40 out of that 150, so the shop is catching $110 off of that, and it's like, holy crap. I get overhead, I really do, because electricity is expensive, paying for that building to put up is expensive, all the rent, that you got to pay monthly.
Workman's comp, because they got to pay for that out of pocket.
All the guys that aren't shop labor have to get paid somehow too, so you got to pay your service managers, your everything like that. So yeah, you got to pay everybody, but it's a toss up. I get it, I understand, but it's like, dude, do I really want to pay that much for knowing what I know about cars? I'm not even a good mechanic, man. I know some good mechanics, like some really good mechanics. I feel like Cameron says that about me.
What's that?
Cameron says I'm not a really good mechanic. I call Jacob whenever I need help. He's listening to me now. He's like, I'm never going to call this motherfucker again. Cameron's a good mechanic. Pretty much.
Well, the only reason why I get away with it is because it doesn't mean much, but I did go to school, so I had to get the theory down. So it's like, since I know the theory, I can somewhat figure it out, but there's still stuff that, I got to research. And that's really what they taught me at school, was really, use those tools to your advantage to learn stuff. And if anybody has training on the new brakes or the new sensors and stuff coming out that you're going to see, utilize those trainings to your advantage. Because if you're really going to want to make a living doing this, you're going to have to know all that. You can't just half-ass it.
Yeah. So I guess I've essentially always had an engineer's brain, is what a lot of people tell me. Like, I like to tinker and know how things work. So I get what Cameron says about theory. It's funny because I've been saying it for the longest time, and now I'm starting to see more people acknowledge it. And this is just me going off on a rant, but glow plugs do the same job as spark plugs for their respected air pumps, engines, right? A spark plug ignites gasoline to create the explosion, the rapid expansion of air to give you power in your gasoline engine. A glow plug creates heat because diesel fuel does not explode technically. It just rapidly expands when it's super compressed and heated. however you want to describe it, it explains it, whatever. But the glow plug causes the diesel fuel to be ignited and create energy in your diesel engine. So essentially, the glow plug and the spark plug do the same job, just at different. Can't think of the term.
Well, it's like different parameters.
Yeah.
Or a different time, because glow plugs, they really use it just when you first start up.
Yeah.
Because you got to get that hot. You got to get that combustion chamber hot because, like you said, like with diesel, it's always detonating. Like you're detonating the fuel.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want in a gasoline. You do not want detonate. I mean, you do want detonation, but you don't want pre-detonation.
Yeah, you want detonation at the right time.
Yeah, and if you listen to, like, especially those 6.0s, they're detonating at all different times. That's why it sounds like bah, 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 because it's sitting there firing at all time. And then the thing with diesel, why they're so fuel efficient, is because I think it's 3 times. It'll burn it 3 times before it dumps any more fuel into the combustion chamber. So that's why you see the gray smoke, is because that's completely burned fuel.
Yeah.
But then the tree huggers don't like that. They don't want you to see the black smoke and everything. So
Black smoke.
But that's actually completely burned fuel. There's nothing else in it to burn.
Yeah,
so
that's gray smoke. Black smoke is soot.
Yeah.
From unburnt fuel.
Yeah, that's when you see people dumping a whole bunch of, where they want to see that, they're pretty much destroying that diesel. Like, you don't want it to do that.
Definitely don't want it, but I mean, the turbo will catch up. Come on, man. That means you got power.
Yeah, because they'll program them to do that, where you hit because that's the other thing about diesels is the gas pedal in a diesel is you're dumping fuel.
Yeah,
and
the fuel pedal is actually a fuel pedal.
Yeah,
you press it and it's dumping fuel. There's no throttle bodies on a diesel.
No, because in the newer cars, it's air. You're dumping, when you hit the gas pedal, you're dumping more air in. So you're leaning it out. So then the computer's got to be like, okay,
add fuel.
Yeah, add fuel. But with the diesel, okay, you're dumping more fuel, so we need to add air. So it's just funny that it's exactly the opposite. And the other thing too is those damn injectors on diesels are like 30 to 40,000 psi. So like I remember they were telling us like you could put a piece of paper in front of it, it would just completely destroy that piece of paper.
Completely destroy it. I've seen it. Somebody not release the pressure in a fuel line and like almost cut their finger completely off when they broke it free, and it just shot out a little stream and cut it all the way to the bone on one side of it.
Yeah. The funny thing is too is you remember, I don't know if you were there when Steve did it at Ford, but he was working on a diesel, I think it was a 6.0, and it was running hot, and he opened up the cap and he's like, there's no coolant in here, and then all he heard was this gurgle, and he's like, run, and then it just started, it like was like a geyser.
Yeah.
There was a geyser coming out of that tank, that reservoir, because it was it was horrible.
That sounds horrible.
And it went everywhere, like coolant went everywhere.
And I think coolant is worse to clean up than diesel.
Well, yeah, because it's like oil. It's oily too, but it's
oily, but it's just so there's a thing about coolant that I think it's harder to clean up than, maybe it's like that perfect mixture of oily and watery at the same time that it just like smears.
Yeah.
At least with oil, it kind of sticks to itself. So when you go to like pick it up with a towel or something, you can get big old goops of it. Whereas like when it comes to coolant, you throw a paper towel or something on it to pick it up, that it's gonna soak a ton of it up and it's just gonna smear everything else. Like it just, I don't know.
Well, it leaves like a film, is what I would say.
Yeah.
It's like a film on the ground, so it just it gets slick. Like you'll bust your ass on some coolant.
Yeah.
With oil, you really don't. I mean, unless you're just not wearing the right shoes. But
yeah,
it's like you ain't even wearing the right shoes. You can slip bad on antifreeze.
So, did you hear I picked up another car? I got a first gen 240, but it's got a RB35 Skyline swap. It's got some thingamabobs and thingamajiggers. Yeah, yeah. So the Fast and Furious 2, the silver car that Paul Walker was driving at the very beginning of the movie, it's got the motor from that car in it.
The Skyline.
I know movies. Oh, yeah.
So it's a pretty sought after, high performance, inline six with a turbocharger. All those words should be self-explanatory. They only made it in Japan. They did not bring that motor to the States, so that's what makes it rare. Yeah. I talk to my guys that work like this, and some of them be like, "Yo, you're mean. Why are you talking to us like we're kids?" And I'm like, I'm just trying to explain in a manner that you guys can understand, that everybody who hears me can understand. Because I don't know everybody's knowledge level on anything in life. I would hate to assume that you know what righty-tighty means and lefty-loosey means, and then you get on a car and you strip bolts because you're turning them the wrong way.
That's negative. Saved a lot of my household stuff.
Yeah.
Working on chairs or something on the table.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Yeah. Yep. I tell them, I'm like, I'm not trying to be rude or mean or you know, act like you don't know anything. I'm just, hey, what is your competency level? Now I've just started to do that. What's your comprehension level on this? What do you know about this? If you don't know anything, you can say I don't know anything. If you know a little bit, tell me what you know. And if you don't want to tell me what you know, well then tell me to start from the beginning. And I don't even have to do it, and I'll just start from the beginning. But just know, if I start from the beginning, and you think I'm being mean, no, you told me to start from the beginning, and this is how I start from the beginning. Square peg, square hole. Round peg, round hole. Put them together, octagon. Wait, where'd you get the octagon from? Oh, UFC. Woohoo! Alright, and in first place we have whatever, and he's taking the right turn real sharp, and he hit the wall. Oh no, he hit the wall. Oh, he tapped that nitrous button, and second player's coming up real quick. He's a quarter of a second behind him. Oh no, half a second behind. There we go. The closest player is half a second behind, the RX-7. Here we got the S2000 going through water, and I'm surprised he didn't spin out. Oh man, the game physics are not real life physics. That is crazy. Oh, he hit the wall. Yeah, I don't know why that car is in totals. Yeah. Call it like a baseball game. Yeah. All right, and we got Mark McGuire on home base coming into third. Why would he be on home base coming into third? I don't know, but
he's gonna score a touchdown.
Yay! He's got the thingamabobs going into the thingajigs that go whoosh.
I don't know what's called. That's kind of the sound it makes that way.
Oh, I like when he does that on Tropic Thunder. Hey, what kind of sidearm is that? I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it kills a man. Yeah.
I don't think I got it. I don't think I got first.
0.02.
Yeah, 0.02.
No, shit, I called that. God. We gotta replay that clip when I'm talking so I can see that.
Over and over.
Dang.
Facebook short.
That was crazy. I wish we had that on film. The reaction just be like, oh, I got it. We are 49 minutes and 50 seconds. Remember that. 49 minutes and 50 seconds. You know, Facebook is deleting lives after 30 days. So, yeah, like, because it'll have your live video set up in like your reel and stuff, so you can go back to it. But they changed their policies or whatever, so your lives only last 30 days. And then they'll delete them off the platform. I guess they're tired of having so many servers. All that place that most people don't even go back to their lives or anything like that. Like, I get it, but that's why I'm also multi-streaming to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Kick. Oh, not on Twitter because you gotta pay to do that. And TikTok. They keep my lives up, so I can just go back to them whenever. Especially YouTube. I don't think that's the case. Facebook's pretty complicit in allowing the FBI and CIA and everybody to use their stuff. So what's new with your Tejano band?
Tejano.
Tejano?
Tajin band.
Tejano? Yeah, Tejano. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What? Oh, okay. So not that you're a bad player, you're good at your genre that I always saw you in, which because I always thought you were amazing. Well, I'm not gonna lie, not to pick on your band, Cameron, but and it might have just been the sound setup. There were some times that they were a little bit off. I remember when you said you dropped out and your other sound guy was like, oh, you were like a fret off or something like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that it was you. I was just like, this sound isn't flowing right. And then your singer, he's got a pretty decent voice, but there were some notes that I was like, that's just not your song. So, but yeah, so I'm That's good. Yeah, well, if I'm available and you want somebody to film or something like that, I'll bring my equipment out and set up some cameras and stuff. That was a really good experience for me where Cameron was at in Hillsboro, just because being able to set up the cameras was easy. And instead of having 4 different memory cards to pull off of each camera and try to make sure they're all recording and getting good sound or whatever, I have my ATEM mini switcher that receives 4 HDMI sources, and it's an ISO switcher, so it'll record all 4 onto one SD card. So it makes like the workflow so much easier if I try to edit or multicam and it keeps the time code the same. I don't know if you know anything about editing or anything like that, but if I'm trying to see where the drummer and then go to the guitarist and then go to the bassist all on beat, well, it's filming everything in the same timeline at the same time. So if I want to switch it, I can switch it in my editor the same because it's all filmed on the same piece of equipment versus being filmed on 4 different pieces of equipment. So, and it's the first time I've used it for an event like that. I was trying to do it with the Revenge business before, but I just never had the proper setup, the right amount of cameras, all the same cameras and everything like that. Like, it was a hassle. Now I know that I have a really good setup to do that with. It took me a little while to set up because it was my first time setting that up, but now I'm like, okay, cool. I know I got all my cables here. Here are the cameras that I'm using. Like, that's all set up. It's perfect. So the invite is open to you as well if you want some footage for your band too. Not that I'll be able to. Hold on. Damn it. To make sure we're still live streaming and that it's us and it's not just a random YouTube video or something that somebody's copying to do like a 24-hour stream. They want to make sure you're active on the stream. So they do it like every hour and a half or something like that, every hour. Yeah. So it's alright, whatever. But I don't mind. What was I? Oh yeah. So the invite's open. If you want me to come film some stuff for your band and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to edit it. I don't know much about editing music videos or stuff like that. But at least having the video footage for maybe a music video, if y'all want to go that route or something like that, or just promotional tools or something like that, I can film it off for you and then give you the content so you have it to maybe post on TikTok or Facebook or YouTube, or just be like, hey, this is our band, check us out. Or even promotional content for gigs or clients that you're trying to get. Hey man, here's samples of our music and our videos, how we play, how we dress, or how we practice, see if these are some of the songs you like. Here's some snippets of, we played this key set, we played that, so they can see like live sound and stuff. Maybe help it. I mean, it helps having those as options. hey, I give you the videos. You put in whatever you want. If there's a snippet of me in there, you can cut that out. But I'm gonna leave it in there so y'all can have it. Sample footage, just in case, just in case. I'm trying to promote my business too, right? Yeah. Let's see if no, I don't think it'll show up. Yeah, I don't think it'll show up on my phone. I have to do it on my computer. But I still have the footage from this weekend. The only problem is the only set that I think is going to be a good set is going to be the last set. Well, the video is great, but the audio is coming from GoPros on the first set. So I don't have like the direct line into my mixer and stuff like that to adjust the audio, so I'm not getting a clear audio signal from the band. Like when you pull audio off the mixer, I'm getting everything in there and I'm trying to get it all at the same level so that way you can hear the sound really good, right? If I'm picking it up from a GoPro that's 5 feet away from the rest of the band or really close to the drums, picking up high drums, but it's not really picking up the sound from everybody else. So like the first set was that. The second set was they figured out what I was doing and they were trying to send me the signal, but it was too high out of their mixer coming into my mixer, and I didn't have a way to adjust that gain low enough to where I could mix on my mixer. And so about halfway through that set, I just plugged it directly into the ATEM, and that actually had a way better sound than trying to go into the mixer and adjust everything and then go into the ATEM. So I did that, and that's where I started getting better sound. So like I said, then that last set, I was like, all right, this is good. That last set's gonna have the best sound, but it's darker in the night. I still got some pretty good video images and quality and stuff like that, but it just there was a lot that I learned from setting all that up. Yeah, exactly. You never know until you know, right? You got to fuck it up first. You do, and it's fun, like I said, and then all the video, I think it's gonna be great if they can overlay their songs over it.
Yeah, if we record something, yeah.
If you record something that they're like find those songs or whatever that they're doing, record it live or whatever, and then because that live is always going to be different than another live or something like that. But if you're a good editor, which I am not, but I know editing. Well, I've never been to school for editing theory, and I'm just calling it editing theory, kind of like music theory or whatever, like content creation or whatever. I can kind of understand that. Okay, cool. We have all this footage. All you gotta do is go to the park and grab some B-roll of a band walking or something like that, or just some random footage from a different concert or a big old stage. Doesn't even have to be the same song. It's just got to be the same vibe of the song where you can like put it in as B-roll. Where like, okay, you see the drummer, and honestly, I don't know. Like, I can see a drummer doing this and hear fucking Phil Collins and be like, he's doing the same thing, right? And he can be playing "Don't Stop" Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know? Fucking, it looks like he was playing the same thing to me, right? Unless you're a musician and you look at it, and you're like, oh, that drum hit, and this was off half a beat. You're really not paying attention to it, right? So you just got to be close enough. Yeah, far away, so you can't see the drummer, you can't see the fingers or anything like that. Like, unless they're playing something way off where, like, he should be up here playing, and he's playing down here, like, high pitch versus low pitch. That's the only thing you'd be able to see from far away. How are you detecting inactivity? The screen is freaking moving. That was not an hour later. We're talking, can you hear me, TikTok? How is it inactivity? Maybe I need to be talking directly into my microphone. Hello. Yeah, I know. Hello, everybody. Oh, so speaking of microphones, Cameron got that AKG was the one you were originally running, or was that the one that you purchased before I brought this one over at the same time?
Yeah, I've had that one. That's the one that Juan had told me to buy.
Yeah.
So that one, yeah, I had that one, and I got the Sterling when they had it on clearance for it was cheap.
Yeah.
I don't remember how much I bought it for.
Yeah, so he got that one. I had this one at home that I purchased for trying to do the podcast and streaming like this at my house. Yeah. Don't remember. It's a Castaway. It was at Guitar Center in the clearance rack for like $35. And I was like, oh, I like the look on this. It was returned. And it always sounded really good. And then my buddy, so I market myself out, and I know a lot of people, and I meet a decent amount of people that one of my buddies, he's a karaoke DJ, and he had a spare, what brand is your mixer that you use for the events? Behringer. So mine's is a Harbinger. Not similar, it's just, I know the difference. Like his Behringer, mine's Harbinger. I get them mixed up because I'm like, they're so close, so I had to make sure. But mine's a Harbinger. It's like a 7-channel. It's got 1 channel of Bluetooth, 2 channels of XLR, 2 channels of 1/4 inch. And he was like, oh yeah, this is my karaoke mic. So he said he lost channel 2. And so he was like, oh, I bought me a new one because channel 2's out, whatever. He's like, I'm going to throw this away if you want it for whatever, podcasting or mics and stuff like that. I was like, hell yeah. So he gave it to me, and it works perfectly. Channel 2 is not blown out or nothing. Like, I fed it hot from the mixer, and it's still like, I'm like, holy shit, didn't burn anything out, it still works. All right, cool. Like, it's perfect. It's running perfectly. So I don't know what problems he was having with Channel 2, but I'm not having them. Yeah. So I have that mixer, which is what we were originally using before he got a smoking deal on that. Oh no, somebody gave it to him.
Yeah, I got
one of his other buddies gave it to him. So that's how we got that mixer here to keep here, because I was jumping around with the mixer and it was really hard to set up everything. Every Wednesday when I come over to stream, it's like it's taking an hour for us to set up. Whereas like now tonight took us a long time, but it was just me trying to get the cameras. It's the first time we're using that PC, so. But normally it takes 15-20 minutes to set up with me bringing out my Surface, plugging in the camera, plugging in his USB receiver,
the graphics card, or the capture card.
Capture card, yeah. And so it doesn't take that long anymore. And yeah, it's just easier to have everything. So I'm probably gonna pick up another camera to leave here, because I'd like to leave one here so I don't have to set that up and just leave everything plugged into the computer. So all we gotta do is turn the computer on, open up the applications and go. But that's why I want to get that Alienware too, because my Alienware is the R3, which is an upgrade from the R2, but they're pretty much the same thing. With their motherboards are just a little bit different. And that one only has 8 gigs of RAM, but I have 2 8 gig sticks, so I can put 16 gigs into it that I already have available for it. My Alienware has a i5. This one has an i7. It's got a better. My Alienware currently has a better graphics card than whatever they came with. This one has a better graphics card than whatever mine came with, because it's got like 2 DVI ports, 2 HDMI ports, and a display port, where mine only has a DVI, a display, and an HDMI. So it already came with Brother, or they upgraded already, and they're saying that the hard drive's bad on it. So I'm like, if that's the case, then swap the hard drive out and bring it over here, install a fresh copy of. I probably put Windows 11 on it just because it's the newest one. Probably gonna get the best updates. I like Windows 10, but they're gonna discontinue it soon. And just like the issues I had here upgrading to 10. Like I couldn't have both of these on here without, because Prism won't let me run on anything lower than 10. So I would only be able to stream the TikTok on here. Which, I mean, it's holding up pretty good. Graphics card, it still pops up that little, oh, your processor's slowing down or whatever, but it's handling a stream. I can see, if you see at the bottom, it'll say CPU usage, 30 frames per second, and then on the Prism, it says the same thing. It says how many drop frames and stuff you got. 0 drop frames and everything, so it's obviously holding up. You know, and it's still putting up all my messages and everything like that. The only comments or anything I'm not getting is from Kick, which I can honestly just pull the Kick chat board up and do it, right? And I just like the 2 screens because I can have the monitor up there to make sure, you know, it's not overheating the computer. I'm not dropping any frames. The bit rate's fine. Like, I'm streaming the Prism first. That's why TikTok seems a little laggy. See that change? Seems a little laggy, but I mean, that's just the price of the game. Like, that's what's gonna happen. But it's taking the audio in fine. I think instead of plugging our microphone audio, because right now we have our microphone audio plugged into the capture card, because a lot of my stuff didn't have a microphone input. Well, the PC has a microphone input now. The one that I want to purchase to leave here has a microphone input as well. So I could just plug that into that microphone input, that does have a mic input, but I can't plug into it because then I won't be able to charge it or live stream out of it. So And the problem I was thinking about having with that was that they're not going to sync up. But if I got the camera and the HDMI coming out of different ports anyways, the audio might not be synced up anyways. But I think we're far enough away and our heads are going to be small enough that if I'm behind the mic, they're not going to be able to tell when I'm talking or not, right? So we can plug that audio directly into the computer, and then I can control the game audio, turn it down a little bit, turn up our mic volume, and be able to, have everybody hear us a little better. But it's hit or miss, and man, me and Cameron, last year we were streaming a lot religiously, and now we're just getting back into constantly every Wednesday.
Yeah.
So this is, It took us until end of May to start streaming again. We stopped in November, late November, right before Thanksgiving or something like that.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, after the holidays, or we're going to try to do a Christmas stream, or we're going to try to do this stream or whatever, and then we just kind of didn't. And then, I got, did I get sick first?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, we did the holidays, and then we're going to do it after Christmas Eve or something, and then you were like, I can't do it because I went to the doctor and this happened.
I thought I had COVID. Or no, I got the flu.
Yeah, and I remember, and then Joseph got sick too.
And then Joseph got sick right after that. And then after I caught the flu, my blood work came back. Oh, and I was having some issues with going to the restroom a lot and doing some other things that I was just like, this is just unnatural for me. And so I went and got my blood work done, and I found out that I had diabetes. And so then I was like, okay, well, I need to get in the gym and kind of fix some of this before I start streaming. So give me about 2 weeks to get a gym routine and a food routine, just kind of get my personal life back together before I come back and stream. Well, then we did that, and then a lot of stuff with my nonprofit and doing the Sokies Invasion was just like, everything was rolling in at the beginning of the year because that's when I do my event and stuff, and it was just back to back to back to back, and I felt overwhelmed, and I felt like this was another thing, which this is honestly really relaxing for me, so I don't know why it felt overwhelming to like, so it's just because I was overwhelmed. I didn't want to have to think about something else, even though this is something that relaxes me. And I think actually saying that out loud and hearing it and speaking on it, I think I can say I know a lot of other people that are like that way too, because I get a lot of friends that show up to the cigar night even though they didn't want to, and they're like, oh, I was kind of regretting it because it's a lot to get out and go see people, and they're like, but I never have a bad time when I come out here, and it's always fun, and I don't know why I was thinking about not showing up. I forced myself to show up, and my wife, brought me out, forced me to show up, and it was the best thing that I could have done. And so like, I get it, and so I think speaking it, and if anybody needed to hear that, I hope you heard it. If you're dreading doing something that you love doing, honestly, just go out and do it, because you're probably going to have fun, and you're not going to regret it, and you're going to be like, you know what? I don't know why I was stressing so hard about it. It doesn't take any extra effort. So then there's the issue, And it gives me a chance to see Cameron more often. Cameron doesn't party like I do, so he doesn't always come out. But he does come out.
Yeah, I just can't drink like I used to, just for health reasons, and I have to be a parent, so I gotta be good.
Be good, and then it's
I have to do grown-up stuff.
Yeah. Not me.
No, but that's well, and that's just what it is too. It's like, I have to. I hate to say it that way, but kind of have to pick my battles on some of that stuff. Like, Which, yes, with either, I know it's going to piss Jacob off, but either you or Juan are the only two I can really get away with it.
Fuck you, Juan.
Like,
Taking my man.
yeah, he was here first. I hate to say that.
You know what? Time doesn't mean anything.
Well, he told my wife that. It's like I had him first, so.
Oh, you told Sadie you had him first?
Yeah. It's like he was mine first.
I don't mean to break your heart, Juan, but I was the best man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit below the belt there. Cameron's gonna be like, none of y'all are invited over anymore. I can't be pitting y'all two together.
Fight to the death.
Juan's always been really cool, a really cool guy, so I feel like I could joke around with him about that stuff.
One for each of
There we
you.
go. That's right. There's enough of me to go around.
Yeah. Yeah, there's enough white meat to go around.
It's okay. I was imported from inside side of the family.
The other white meat.
I'm the throuple partner because I was here first with Saida, and then she introduced me to camera, and then I just instantly became his best friend. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. It's her fault, and she says that too. She still gets mad about it. She's like, I should never let y'all meet.
She tells me, she's like, so I'm gonna introduce you to Jacob. Well, she just told me. She said, I told Cameron I'm gonna introduce you to Jacob, and he's got this personality. And I'm paraphrasing right now.
Yeah.
And he's got this personality. You're either gonna love him or you're gonna hate him. And then we went bowling, and I ended up at his house.
No, not that time. It was the second time.
Oh, the second time.
Yeah, the second time. Yeah, because you were with that one girl. I can't remember. Like you were with some girl, and then yeah, you were. You had like 2 or 3 pictures by yourself. No, that was the second time.
Second time when I had the pictures.
Yeah, and you were already drinking. Like you were there like 2 hours before us or something. So when we got there, you were already gone.
Oh yeah, I think I was probably with Amanda.
Yeah, I think it was Amanda. Because you were trying to hit on her and she was like not having it at all. It's like literally I think she went for the free alcohol. And then that was when you were working at the pawn shop. And you're like, I gotta go to work tomorrow, but fuck it.
Cameron always making me look bad in front of everybody.
No, it's funny. Like it really is. But still, the funniest thing is where you didn't know where you were. Like you're like,
Oh yeah,
this isn't that apartment.
I wasn't worried about that. Oh, I'll tell that story completely 100%.
Oh.
I forgot that I was with other chicks.
Well, that was your friend. She was your buddy. Like normally, that was the one that you would like hang out with. Like you would go like bar hopping with. That's what she was at that time, I think. And then, but you had other ones like that too. You had other like
funny
girls
because
that were
we're,
just bar buddies.
where were we at?
What?
Me, you, and Kong? Didn't we just hang out?
You talking about this past weekend?
Yeah.
It was at Tajin.
Yeah, we were at Tajin. And I'm sitting talking to Kong, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I miss Maria. And Cameron goes, oh, yeah, the girl that would never give you any?
That would. No, but it was. It's so funny. It's sad, but it's just. It's like no. It's funny because he wasn't really. I don't think he was being serious, but it looked like he was being serious. But it was just like, yeah, it's like.
I want you to try, but not too much.
Yeah, literally. But it was just, yeah, because it was like, every time it just flirt, and she'd be like, no, stop. And I'm like, whatever, girl. Like, it's just Jacob was too much for you. That's all it was. You just couldn't handle all of Jacob, so that's why you had to act that way.
I'm laughing out loud, but I'm crying inside. I'm glad this camera can't see my face. Yeah. Everybody on stream is like, bro, I thought this guy was a player. He got everybody, but now I'm hearing different. Whoa.
There's always the one that got away. You know that. Like, even with players.
You just mentioned 3 of them. Sounds like all of them got away.
Not
Jacob been lying to the crowd forever? I'm messing with you, Cameron. It's just a joke. Don't take it to heart.
The one, yeah, but see, that's the thing. The one that got away, but in different time periods, like different decades. Like, you can do decades, so that's okay.
The flavor of the week. What are you talking about? Different decades.
The flavor of the day, you mean?
Yeah. Well,
time to drown my sorrows.
Look. Oh my God, Jacob, that's half a cup of vodka. Hey, Juan, would you like another shot? Hey, Juan's wife, if you're watching the stream, turn your eyes away.
Yeah, turn. Yeah, look away.
It doesn't matter because there's no camera on him.
Yeah, so you just self-incriminated yourself with no video. How do you do that?
I could even be him.
Yeah, I could be you.
I have a voice altering technology that makes me sound like Juan.
Superstar. For the home, yeah. Yeah, the last one was for the homies.
Last one's for the homies. Oh. I love the rumble from the engines. The only reason I come to these races because I hear the engines rumbling up
right on my ass. It's still my fun. I know I've sent y'all those because I know I spam reels on y'all because I'm bored at work. That's normally what happens.
I do the same thing too.
Did you? I know because you were spamming. I kept going bling 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 bling. I was like, good God! And I look and it's just like heart. But it's the one, the homie Larry. Like, I love his reels. He's like, you want some pizza? I ain't got no pizza, but I got this fucking peanut butter. And it's always that, like his stuff gets me. And then now I'm like on the kick where I keep getting the Mickey Mouse like puppet reels, where he's like talking in the Mickey Mouse voice, but he does like the Dr. Claw voice in there too. He's like, oh, what are you doing? And I went down some rabbit hole the other day. It's always on Instagram. You go down the rabbit hole reels. It's like just one after the other. It's just hilarious.
Bro, have y'all seen the new trend on TikTok with the Yeti, the Wendigo, the Gorilla podcaster, and Bigfoot, Biggie the Bigfoot, and it's like an AI Bigfoot, and he's like nature podcasting. Hey guys, I'm out here, I'm messing with all these campers, blah blah, doing like some crazy stuff. They have one with like a werewolf now, and the werewolf was like, oh man, I just ate this dude in a tie-dye shirt and I'm tripping balls right now. I think he was high on mushrooms. Bro, I can see fucking stars right now. I'm in another galaxy. It's hilarious. And then they got like
I can taste the sound.
yeah, they got the gorillas, and he's like, "What's up with all these 100 dudes versus one gorilla? Have you ever seen 100 dudes coming at you at one time? That's not fighting 100 dudes. That's a freaking stampede." And then like his co-podcaster is like, "Oh, so you're scared?" He's like, "No, I'm not scared. I'm just saying maybe we should change the rules." But it's hilarious. They got the Wendigo out there, and he's like, "Hey, it's the Wendigo. I decided to start my nature podcast. This is how we do this." I'm like, "Oh, it's hilarious." Cause they got the Yeti and the Bigfoot and like cameos. The Mothman is hilarious.
Hey, man, that AI stuff is really good.
Yo, when you see these, you're gonna be like, "Holy shit!" The chupacabra. Bro, that's just wild, right? Like, holy cow.
I don't just do it. Take that.
That shit looks real.
Real as that.
That's just wild, right? Yo, I'm like, holy crap. Oh, this one. Oh, here's the werewolf one.
I can hear colors in my teeth.
That's crazy. I'm like, holy crap, the AI on that is amazing. And I've been waiting, I'm like, man, I'm waiting for AI to be able to like scan in comic books and be like, yo, make me a cartoon series off of X-Men 23 Wolverine versus Juggernaut or whatever. I know I'm butchering all those fucking shits, but like, people read comic books and they want the true to life or true to comic book original story told, right? Even X-Men 97 didn't tell comic book 100% accurate. Everybody took their own envision, which I love it. I'll give it its own purpose. Like, that was great. Like, that's awesome. You know, and DC does a great job at trying to tell in their animated series the storyline and stuff like that. Like I saw all the Infinite Earth series and a couple different ones on HBO. Like, they're really good at making their comic book stuff, animated series, you know, pretty accurate to the comic book. And I'm like, that's great. Now I would like to be able to go into AI and be like, hey, take this comic book and make me an episode, right? Like, holy crap, that people ever take this series and make me a small little series or whatever. Let me see the Phoenix Saga as it was originally written, you know, right? You know, let me see the X-Men series. Let me see the Juggernaut saga. Let me see, this as that. Let me see Deadpool as it was originally written in a comic or not an animated series. With AI, they can make everything, and then of course AI does video voice acting, and I can see where that can get kind of sketchy. Like, oh, put this voice actor as Deadpool, put this voice actor as whatever, right? But what I think actors should do for monetization is record themselves reading the dictionary or an encyclopedia or something like that, so they have every word already recorded as themselves, and then they can be like, hey, copyright. This is my voice. I already have my voice recorded reading every English word known to man, so you can't use my voice in any of this stuff without me getting paid. And then, they don't have to go in and voice act the comics. They can just be like, hey, here's my voice, use it for AI, and anytime AI uses their voice, they can charge AI for it. Yeah. Or even though YouTube is free, whoever owns ChatGPT can pay to allow that voice on ChatGPT when somebody, not necessarily ChatGPT, but like whatever AI service they're using to create these reels and stuff. Hey, we want to use your voice on this. All right, we're gonna pay you a fee. Still allow it free to the consumer, but just like YouTube has ads or anywhere else, they're like, okay, cool. You're doing this, you're doing that, whatever, you're going to catch those ads. Or if you want the premium version, then and that goes to paying everybody else their little dividends or whatnot, right? Which they probably already all thought about it. We're just here talking about it, stuff like that. But, yeah, but. And who knows, maybe somebody gets an idea off of us and they're like, hey, I heard that little snippet, pass them through. But yeah, like my thing was always, I was like, man, comic books. People want to see 100% comic book accurate representations in media, period. Like, because you have this envision in your head of what it would be reading the comic book. But like even in, did you watch X-Men 97? At Wolverine at the end, like it was just a comic book strips, the last two freeze frames of him getting the adamantium removed from his body because it was on Disney and it wasn't rated R. And I'm like, man, if it would have had an R rating on it, like DC does for HBO, bro, they could have showed that. They could have showed everything peeling out of his skin. Like that would have been, yeah, okay, gory. Who wants to see that? In quotation marks. We want to see that. Like, show it. I think that would be cool as shit. It adds to the depth of the story. Like, it makes it that much more intense. I'm not asking you for you to freaking completely decapitate and show the dude bleeding out all the place. I've seen animes like that, but like, no, like, show it. Show the pain. Like, I think it'd be really cool. And if you use AI to do that, or at least if you rent your AI or get somebody to pay a subscription fee like studios to do that, to where, okay, hey man, animate this comic book series for me, and then AI goes in and takes all the screenshots and freeze frames and everything like that, so then you can get accurate drawings of the comic book, so you'll see that actual character that was drawn at that time frame. Because are you telling me that AI can't mimic that art style of whatever comic? So it can mimic that art style, so you can get accurate renderings and animations of that specific art style from that specific artist, and that whole storyline told through AI. You can get the whole thing, the whole animated series published through AI, and then all you gotta do is find voice actors. That takes so much of the animation groundwork. And okay, maybe an artist will lose their job, which sucks, and I know the tone and the inflection of my voice doesn't sound like it sucks, but I would honestly rather see more animated renditions of comic books, of comic accurate series displayed for the world to see, because some people don't want to read comics, and some people, everybody, I don't think I've heard one person that reads say the movie is better than the book. Everybody's like, oh, the book goes into detail and does this and does that. So you're telling me that if there's not enough people in the world to either act or play the book out exactly the way the book came. But if I can figure out how to work AI, I can create this book in an animated series or a Pixar styled series or a whatever styled series, live action, whatever movie, and AI will generate all the scenes, will generate everything for me. I don't have to go to creators, to VFX artists, to anything like that to go into the computer and do this, or I have AI render out the basics for me, and then I go back in and then get artists to come in and tweak everything to make it more better for the eye and so it can flow better and do that. Like, you're telling me that, like, taking out all of that work isn't going to be beneficial to the community? I know where people would say, no, like, artists are going to lose this. Yeah, I get it. But, that artist that's going in there and frame for frame drawing everything, like, that takes a lot of time. Whereas if he's a good artist and he already knows the artwork and he's like, okay, now I have this full 40-minute video frame for frame, and all I gotta do is watch this, and okay, this needs adjusting, that needs adjusting. Oh, let me go redraw this frame. You think that he's not gonna be happy that I don't have to spend 16 months drawing all this shit, and then for somebody to say, oh yeah, I don't like that scene, I'm now gonna redraw a whole scene, and now he can just be like, okay, all right, well then let's take that out. Let's have AI redraw this scene for me, and then I'll go in and tweak it where it needs to be tweaked. I'll add in what needs to be added in, and I'll take out what needs to be taken out. Like, I think that would make most people's job way easier. Yeah. Have AI fill in the gaps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just gotta be able to adapt, man. I think everybody, at least in this situation that I'm talking about, I don't think they're cutting out any jobs. You just have to figure out how to adapt to use it with your job. Right? Like visual effects artists. If somebody uses AI to throw lightning into a Thor film, right? DaVinci Resolve, lightning, AI does it. Alright, cool. That visual effects artist is like, shit, AI did it in 3 hours where it would have taken me 2 weeks to get that. Well, somebody would be like, fuck dude, I'm out of a job. The smart guy would be like, okay, cool. Yeah, that took AI 3 hours, but I'm going to tell you right now, look, the thunder's not coming from the cloud, it's coming from the sky right here. And when it hits 2 inches off of Thor's hammer, so it's not hitting where it's supposed to be hitting to show that Thor's getting power from the lightning. So you're going to need me to come in and move that visual effects over, and I know how to do it without going and recreating this whole scene and just adjusting the parameters in the media editing software, right? Because that's what I do for a living. So and that's where the smart person would come in and be like, AI is not taking over my job. AI is making my job easier. It would take me a week to edit the lightning and do all this and get it into the perfect platform. AI already did that for me, but AI is not precise, so it can't put it exactly where it needs to go. So that's where you bring me in to finalize it, and now I can charge more because I'm fixing a problem. Yeah, because they're working so much. And they're underpaid. I would 100% say they're underpaid. Because everybody always goes to the lowest bidder. And I think that's why VFX, when they first came out, early 90s, Super Mario Brothers. So everything before Super Mario Brothers was done on, I can't remember, but it was done on one specific platform. And nobody else had VFX. Nobody. Well, Toshiba or Mitsubishi made a film to digital scanner, and with that film to digital scanner, it also allowed you to adjust overlays. And so they were like, okay, cinema has VFX locked down. They brought the scanner in, and they were like, oh, we want everybody else to be able to do VFX. And so Super Mario Brothers is the pioneer for everybody having VFX. John Leguizamo, yeah, like I thought that was crazy, and that's why when you see them disintegrating the way they do, it's basically somebody using a stylus and a touchpad and washing out the image, and that's why the digital is spinning like that. Yeah, it's crazy. I was like, holy shit! Super Mario's was that transition from, I think it was like Paramount or something being the only person to have VFX to now everybody else being able to afford VFX after Super Mario Brothers. I'm full of a bunch of fun little facts. Yeah, 100%. So instead of trying to fight it or get it banned or whatever, might as well use it. Might as well like figure out how to monetize it. Like if you're a famous actor, hell, if I was smart and had the time, I would record myself on the dictionary saying every word in the dictionary, every language that I could do, and be like, copyright. That also costs money though. But like, yeah, copyright, and then hey, and then when I become famous and everybody tries to use my voice for AI, because I believe I'm gonna be famous. You gotta believe, right, Cameron? You gotta believe.
Yep.
You gotta believe. So when I become famous and everybody wants to use my voice, then I can be like, look, I'm already copyrighted. You want to use my voice? Pay me. Yeah, that too. And if I have it copyrighted and put in a trust, even after I pass away, because I plan on, which I think everybody should try to do, but building generational wealth, where like my kids, even if I don't make it to where I want to be or I feel comfortable or whatever, hopefully I have enough to pass on that under me is comfortable. My nieces and nephews, if I ever have kids, my kids, my nieces and nephews' kids, like generations beyond me, I'm hoping to build enough wealth that, hey, leave this in the bank or we're going to pass this on. Hey, this is how you do this. Kind of like, I hate to say it in front of Cameron, but not to be derogatory. When everybody talks about the wealth disparity and how white people think and whatever, and I don't mean white people as in the derogatory term, just as in the wealthiest elite are majority white, But it's also like the way they treat their kids, the way they raise people, the way wealthy people raise themselves, the way wealthy people raise wealthy kids. They think about things differently. When I was in high school, I did notice the way that I thought about school and education, and that could have just been my brain, but that also could have been the way my parents raised me. But also, like, my money management skills are shit. Nobody ever told me save 3 months worth of bills until I was already spending money like crazy, right? Until I was already making money. Nobody ever said have this much money in your pocket so in case situations arise you have cash. Nobody ever said any of that to me until I was already spending money like it wasn't nothing and partying and having fun. And then I was like, you know what? Why do I need that much money in my pocket? I'm living paycheck to paycheck and having fun. Whereas, you know, later, I'll do it later. Like, why am I gonna sacrifice a weekend, 2 weekends, 3 weekends, a month, a year? Because that's what it turns into. You know, everybody's like, oh, you know, every other weekend stop going out, or you know, save for a month. Well, then you save for a month, and they're like, well, why don't you save for 2 months? You already got all that money saved. And then, all right, cool. Yeah, no, it's great. You're saving for the long run, and yes, it's 100% beneficial. I'm not saying it's not, and that like you're not gonna have all that to fall back on, because it's nice to have something to fall back on. But in my head, in my state of mind, in my young, growing years, when I was already partying and having fun, when somebody told me that, I'm like, okay, but what if I don't go out for the weekend and I have $1,000 of my paycheck that I didn't spend on going out and drinking, and then the day before I get paid, I get into a car wreck and I die. Well, now there's $1,000 in my bank account that didn't get used for nothing when I could have spent it on alcohol and having fun. And then when I would have passed away, holy shit, no regrets. When you're dead, you have no regrets, because, right, doesn't matter. But in my brain, it's just like, what did I save that money for? While I'm alive, it's like, what did I save that money for? So, like, it's really hard for me to get over that, like, yeah, I should, 100%. I'm not saying I shouldn't, but I mean, I really understand that. It's like I want to live my life to the fullest, and if I don't have the money to be comfortable and live my life to the fullest, well, screw it. I'm not gonna save the money to try and live my life to the fullest, because there's always that possibility that you're not. And if I'm not having fun and I'm not living life and experiencing friendships and everything like I should be, well, then life is boring, and I don't want to live that life.
There's also, well, what if I live to be really,
I got no regrets.
no, but like really only four. What if they get money? Is that it's still for you?
Yeah. I really don't like talking to people about money, because I do have a different aspect on money and stuff like that. If as long as I have a roof over my head, which money to me, which is a privilege. I'll say that 100%. I've never had to have money to have a roof over my head, which is a privilege. I don't care who you talk to, what you say, it's a privilege, right? My parents will never let me. They may allow me to be homeless because of my choices and my choice to be homeless, but they will always have a roof for me to sleep under if I chose and I needed it. So that's a privilege. Everybody doesn't have parents like that, right? maybe not forever, but and I'm saying this hoping Cameron doesn't say no, but I'm pretty sure if push came to shove and I needed a place to stay for a little bit, not forever, for a little bit, to get on my feet or something, that Cameron and Sada would let me stay here.
Oh, Sada would let you stay here. It would have to be her decision. You know,
yeah, it would 100% be Sada's decision. Cameron would let me stay no matter what, is what he's saying. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But it would be Sada's choices. But I know, me and Sada have known each other forever. Unless I was cracked out on like drugs and like just out of my mind. Like I think that it would take a lot for Sada to say no to me. But it's because that I would never ask them for that. Right? Like I build my friendships on knowing that like we're friends and stuff like that, but like because I don't believe that I've asked for much, and that's personally. Everybody else may have a different aspect of that, but I try not to ask for anything. I try not to ask for much. I try to be a good friend, and my friends try to be good friends to me, and I know when they ask for stuff from me, I try to give it to them because they also don't ask for much from me. Like we try to live our lives without asking for much from each other. And sometimes, yeah, I know that I ask for a little bit more. But we don't count favors. Favors are always there. Everybody knows what favors are back and forth. But for the most part, my friend group that I believe, like, favor's a favor. I got it when I got it. You got it when you got it. And if we don't, we don't. And we understand that. And nobody's going to be mad about it. Well, like I said, I'm privileged to know that, yeah, if shit hit the fan, I wouldn't have to worry about a place to stay. Probably for a while. I'm pretty sure I could couch hop between everybody that I know, and not at least half, and not put a burden on one person. And I know that everybody can't say that.
Well, no, I mean, I told Sada, I was like, if this had a bathroom out here, I say Romero would sleep out. Like, I'm not saying it, trying to say it in a mean way or funny way or anything, but if we added on a bathroom and extended this out, I'm pretty sure Jago got too hammered or didn't want to drive
home. I was in the area.
He could pass out here.
Who likes to go to Hemingway's up the road, and here 100 times closer than my house.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about
Hemingway's to here is a straight shot almost, because Hemingway's you can take. It is a straight shot. You take Bosque all the way up,
and then turn
Royal Oaks, and you make one turn and get down here.
Yep.
Hemingway's is right across the street from the. I don't know if you've ever been. Yeah, no.
And where the Coliseum is,
right across the street, that little shopping center, and where the bowling alley used to be, Lake Air Lanes. Yeah, it's right in that little shopping center. Yeah, so it's a straight shot. My house where I stay at is by the Baylor Stadium that they tore down. Yeah, so you see the difference?
Yeah, PD would catch you over there.
Yeah, so if I decided that I was gonna get a little too inebriated, this would definitely be the best spot to drive to. I mean, I might get somebody following me, but.
Well, yeah, but then you just have a key to out here, and then you just pass out here. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'd do that right now.
Oh, I know you would.
But I don't have a key.
One's got an extra key. Well, it's just because that was when we were practicing a whole bunch. So because remember, I was getting off of work later than you, so you could come over and open it up and turn the AC on, and that's one thing that I would want to change is get that mini spliffer in here. That's the only thing I would change.
I have a mini split.
Do you?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for in here because, like I said, you can control it. It'd be more climate controlled, easier. And like if nobody was out here, you could turn.
Auto. It's just on or off.
It's just on or off. Yeah, it's a cheap one. It was. I had an auto one, but remember? Well, no, you don't remember. But Juan remembers. I had that. Remember, I had that portable AC that blew up out here, and I remember Ty tried to fix it. Yeah, Ty tried to fix it, and he couldn't fix it. That one was. It was Wi-Fi. I could turn it on at work, and then have it going whenever it was out here. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, I do have a mini split that my dad's trying to put in my camper build. The big old.
Yeah, the RV or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the car hauler.
Car hauler. Yeah.
I got a giant 32, 35 foot car hauler, fifth wheel, but not like a fifth wheel that can be pulled by a 3500.
Had to be an 18-wheeler.
It's a fifth wheel that was like made out of an 18-wheeler. Fifth wheel.
It was like a semi-trailer that they made it into.
Semi-trailer that they turned into a fifth wheel. But like the smallest truck that could pull it is like a top kick 4500, and so my brother's truck pulled it. Engine, transmission worked fine. Suspension and like in the wind, it was pulling my brother's 3500, and he's got a dually 3500 Chevy like.
Diesel, right?
Diesel.
Yeah.
Where it's tuned, it's pushing like 1300 horsepower and like 2,000 foot-pounds of torque. Like it's got all the power and everything. It'll pull that trailer no problem. Trailer's got trailer brakes on it. Don't have to worry about stopping. But the truck is just so light that the trailer in the wind moves the truck around. And I'm like, oh, that was kind of because it was a windy day when we picked it up. I was like, oh, this is kind of nerve-wracking. But I have... Let's see what I got going on. I know I got a reel. I'm pretty sure I got a reel. And the fact that it was an old Marines recruiting trailer was badass. But it's I looked it up brand new. It's like a $150,000 trailer. I paid $8,000 for it. So it's a car hauler. So it's got a big old Werner winch, a $10,000 winch in it for like pulling cars in. The back door's got a winch on it. The side door's got a winch on it. I want to turn the front half into like a sleeper cabin, and then keep the back half as a car hauler. Because if things go to plan, I want to have a channel that builds cars, but I build them in the aspect of either getting the best people in their fields to do the job, or getting the people that the customer wants to do their job to do the job, right? But not just like, well, in the aspect of, all right, so we live in Texas, and you have a Crown Vic Marauder. Crown Vic. All right, so you're Ford, right? Oh, and Shelby America builds a badass 4.6 dual overhead cam, lightning motor, whatever. But the people that build that motor really, really well are in Oregon. And I'm just spouting off names and stuff for.
It'd be like going to Vegas. Like take your Crown Vic to Vegas.
And so
that's where Shelby America
I'll load it up, load the car up, and take it to the shop. And I will stay with the car while you're at home still working and do everything you want to do. And I'll film it and make it content for the channel and stuff like that. But I'll take it to that guy. All right, cool. Motor's built in the car. Everything's good. Blah blah blah. Loaded up on the car. All right. Well, now you're like, okay, well, I really like the way this dude from California does pinstripes and a lowrider paint. All right, cool. Boom. Go from, she said Vegas for the motor. All right, go from Vegas to Cali, which that's pretty close, but it doesn't matter. Like whatever. All right, then I go to Cali. All right, he wants this done on the engine bay. He wants this pinstriping done here. This is the design. So I sit there and I film all that, and then he gives us the rough draft. I send it to you, and you're like, go, no go, whatever. No go. All right. Well, then he draws up another design. All right, it's a go. So then I'm there in Cali filming him painting the car because you said it was a go. Boom, it's a go. Let's do this. Boom, blah, blah, blah. Boom. All right. Paint's done. Motor's done. All right. Suspension. Who does the best suspension work, or who do you want to do the suspension work on your car? Oh, well, I saw this guy on YouTube in Oregon or New York or Mississippi. All right, load it up. Boom, let's go to this guy. Boom, you get your suspension work done from that guy. All right, well, through all this process, I had a guy build my rims, and he said it was going to take 3 months to build the rims. Well, it's been 3 months, and he's in Washington by Oregon, not Washington, D.C. All right, so then I just take the car all the way up to Washington, get the rims fitted, right? And then I bring it back to you, drop the car off. But I'm with the car the whole time. It's in there. I have my sleeper, so I can sleep in the car, sleep in that when I need to, or rent a hotel, whatever, if everything's planned out. But that's like I think that would be a badass YouTube channel. I'm not just building my car, but and the trailer is big enough that I can have the truck that's pulling the trailer. I can have my car that I just want to drive, either the S2000 or the Mercedes, maybe both of them, because the trailer is pretty big. But one of those, so I can have my drive around car to drive around, and then my build car that I'm building for a customer or whatever, and I'm taking it to, like I said, taking it to their shops to get the stuff done. Okay, I got to pick up an engine for the car. All right, we're gonna pick up the engine, but I have tools in the shop, so maybe you don't want the car with the engine build or whatever, so we drop the engine off, leave the car, then we go drop the car off for paint and body. So then I go pick up the engine, pick up the car, and then I install the engine in the car. However that goes, but take it to the builders that they want to build it and stuff like that. Just film it all and be like, all right, cool. Hey, we're traveling. We're still driving. It's an 8-hour drive. I'm just going to drive through. And once we get to here, we're going to crash out in the Walmart parking lot because I got the bed in the back or whatnot, Oh, we're going, all right, cool. We're in Wyoming, so we're going to go to Yosemite or Yellowstone, and we're going to crash to the national park, and I'm going to do a little nature vlog while I'm here, the halfway point. You know what? We're traveling. I don't have to be there till Wednesday. I only got 7 more hours to drive. I'm gonna spend a day here, and I want to see the forest, and do a dual vlog style thing. I think that would be pretty cool. And then Cameron side, anybody wants to meet me somewhere, we'll fly out. And, hey man, my buddy's coming out here, whatever. Or drive back to town. Hey man, I'm taking a week off. I'm gonna stay in town with my family. Visit everybody, So I want to do that, and then also figure out how to still run my local event, my cigar nights, and do all that stuff, even if I have to do all that. And I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Well, if I do this, I can schedule the trip to be like, all right, cool. I get into, say, that there's a lot of Honda builders that I really like on Facebook and YouTube that build out of Connecticut. So I say, all right, cool, my cigar nights are the first Friday of every month. So if I'm traveling, it's a 24-hour drive without having to stop for gas or anything to get from Waco, Texas to New York. So I'm like, all right, cool, I turned that into a 3-day trip. So I can do 2 weeks before cigar night, so middle of the month, leave Waco, take a couple days to drive out there to Connecticut, drive out there, drop the car off, say what we want, spend a couple days in Connecticut, go visit my brother, and then leave the truck and trailer out there, fly back to Waco to do my cigar night, and then fly back to Connecticut to pick up the truck and trailer, and then take my time driving back. Or stay out there with the car and stuff like that, but still have time to drive back and forth or fly back and forth when I need to do my local events, because I still don't want to forget about the local community that I've already built. But that's definitely my big goal for that trailer, is I want to get and I loved. Remember when they built the big 45 Chevy Kodiak trucks, like the box trucks, the crane trucks, but with the truck bed on the back? Like there was that like little 3 or 4 year span. They call them Kodiak trucks, and I was like, oh shit, I always wanted one of those. And everybody's like, oh, they take so much diesel and this and that, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, but it's a big truck, like not just like a 3500 regular size truck with big features. No, this is a top kit. This is the truck that everybody puts the boom lifts on. This is the truck that everybody puts the dump beds on. This is your mid-sized big truck. You go from your daily driver trucks, 1500, 2500, 3500, and then you have your mid-range trucks, 45, 55, 65, and then you have your 18-wheelers, right? So it's the middle level between 18-wheelers, and they decided to turn it into a daily driver by putting a bed on it. And I was like, those are nice. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah. So that's why I'm like, hell yeah, I want one of those motherfuckers.
No, I messed up. I was there, but I wasn't going to catch him. It's like now you got to have a clean run to even finish him first. Yeah, it's a sprint.
Sounds to me like you haven't turned your engine mods up.
No, they're all the way up. I haven't got any more. This is it.
Aero mods?
Yep, all of my mods are at 100% now.
So we started with the Miata, which I haven't owned. Actually, before I bought the S2000, I was looking at a Miata, and then the S2000 came up and the Miata sold, so I bought the S2000. And I've had that since, forever, since 2008, 2009.
Yeah, something like that.
That's when I bought my, it was 2006 S2000, and I'm pretty sure like it was in my pocket in 2009. So I bought it at 3 years old with like 30,000 miles or something like that. Now it's got like 140 and a swap motor. Oh yeah, no. All of my other cars have over that. The only reason S2000 only has such a low mileage. One, because I swapped the motor, but two, because the motor was blown up for a little while, so I couldn't drive it. But yeah, so I bought the S2000. But anyways, starting the game, there was the Miata. And then we had been playing for maybe 2 weeks, and I didn't realize, but we had swapped from the Miata to a 240. Same model 240 that I had, with that, and that 240 that I was talking about earlier was gifted to me. Like my buddy was gonna sell it to me for like $800 because I really wanted the motor, and I was gonna drop it into my brother's Ford Ranger. And I was like, oh man, inline 6, super motor in a Ford Ranger, badass, slam it, drift it, have a badass 700 horsepower motor, like reliable. Let's go. My brother would never buy it. Well, now my buddy Mike is moving, and as a joke, I was like, oh well, I got the trailer. I'll go pick up that car tomorrow, and you don't even got to worry about it. They'll just, say me taking it off your lawn is payment enough, and we're good. And he was like, you pick it up tomorrow, and that's the deal. I called my boss and I said, I'm not coming into work tomorrow. And he was like, oh, all right, you're good. We got another guy, like another manager, like you're good. Why don't you come in? And I was like, I'm sick. Picking up another car. Sick. He was like, all right, cool. So I woke up at 8 o'clock. I woke up at 6. Hooked up the trailer. headed to his house out in Axtell. And I was like, hey, Mike, wake up. Mike's like, I'm up already. He's like, you don't look like you're up. He's like, I'm up. You want to take a shot of tequila? I was like, yep. Took a shot of tequila. I was like, thank you for giving me this car. Before I put the car on the trailer, do you need anything moved to the area? Because he's got like 16 acres. And the car was on the farthest lot, like 16 acres away. in a shed with a 67 Lincoln. Suicide door, JFK special.
Continental.
Yep. Pristine. No dents, no nothing, no rust spots, no paint chips. Covered in dirt. I opened that door and it smelled like cocaine and hookers from 1968. That's how pristine it was. I was like, holy shit. But anyways, so I helped him move a bunch of his tools and stuff to the back lot because they're selling the first basically acre and a half with the house on it and stuff like that. And so they want to move all their stuff back to the back lot. So I was like, before I put this car out here, let's move everything that I can help you move to the back. Then we'll load the car up and then I'll head out. And it's pretty much what happened. And I took the car home and now it's sitting at the house. And my brother was like, and I'm like, well, drop your welder off at the house and I'll build some motor mounts and we'll make it work. I don't know. The Ranger doesn't get that great gas mileage, and I got a Civic in mind, and I was like, I got a Civic here at the house. All we gotta do is pull the front end off of it. I have too many projects. I need a goal. Give me some steel, a welder, and let me swap these motors.
What happened over here?
Prism updating in the middle of the night. Get the freak out of here. No shit. I see it all the time. Everybody on TikTok, they start streaming at like 10 o'clock. So we got 5 minutes before they all start streaming. But I'll be scrolling and like, everybody, 10 to like 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey guys, how's it going? And I'm like, who's watching TikTok at 10 o'clock at night? I don't want to be a part of that crowd. That just sounds like trouble. Wrong bike. Midnight? Yeah. Normally midnight. Oh, you don't have to be here all night. What time you plan on staying? Or what was going on? Or like?
No, he. Yeah, whenever the boss
You work
calls him.
tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, I don't have to be over till noon. So that's why I'm later. Cameron, he's got to be at work in the morning, which I'm always surprised that he stays up till midnight with us. But
I sacrifice.
last week, Saida was actually up and she came out and talked and everything like that.
Well, y'all were sitting there conversating. I'm like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta be working 7.
No, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And then I was putting everything up in my car, and her and Cameron were out there, and then me and Saida are talking, Cameron's talking, and I'm like, man, it's getting later and later, but you know.
It was after 1 when I went to bed.
Cameron went to bed. It was at least 1 o'clock. It was definitely after 1, but it was at least 1 o'clock. And I kept looking at my watch, and I was like, it's getting late. Don't you gotta go to bed? And Cameron finally said, yeah, I gotta go to bed, man. I'm tired. And so then me and Saida stayed outside bullshitting because I hadn't talked to her in a while. BSing, sorry, whatever. Yeah, because I mean it's been a while. Like she chats every now and then, but like tonight, she brought Joseph here for a little bit, but yeah, we just hadn't talked, and we just got to chatting about everything, and it was like 2 o'clock, and I was like, it's 2 o'clock. Like I gotta be at work at noon. Of course, I'm gonna be up at least 10. Like sun's coming through my window, I'm gonna be up. I may be able to push through like the 8, 9 o'clock sun coming through, like give me another hour. But like at 10 o'clock, that shit's blaring, and I'm like, I gotta get up. But instead it was like, well, no, I know she didn't have to work or whatever. But then I heard that Cameron was like, oh, she didn't get up until
10 or something like that.
Yeah, and she was supposed to be up at 9 or 8.
8. She was supposed to be working like 8:30.
Yeah. And I was like, I told you. And she was like, no, it's okay.
Well, good thing with her job is she really doesn't have a time she's supposed to go in per se.
She's got a set amount of hours she has to work.
Yeah, she's got to work 40 in a week.
Before the end of the schedule week. So there's 7 days she's got to get 40 hours in. So, which is pretty cool, which is one thing that I do like about streaming, and that's why I want to get into this too, is because if you're streaming on Kick and Twitch, they both do it. Kick apparently has a better platform, but I mean, it is what it is. Like when you're in it, then that's when you know. But like when you're starting, you don't get shit from nobody, so it doesn't matter. But the one thing that I will say is I was watching some streamers, Aiden Ross, and he bought a house in Miami or something like that, and a bunch of his buddies streamed with him, and he was like, all right, cool, I got this multi-million-dollar contract with Kick to bring people over to the platform. So I bought this 17-room mansion, condo, whatever it was, and I'm paying rent on it because I can afford it for the next 5 years. I pay 5 years in advance, so I don't have to worry about rent on this fucking condo for the next 5 years. You guys stream with me, and you stream with me for at least 40 hours a week. So I'm gonna put you guys on contract, and my only requirement is that you live stream, IRL stream, take a camera with you on your phone or whatever, and stream for 40 hours a week. It doesn't have to be Monday through Friday 8 to 5, but it can be Monday through Friday 8 to 5. It can be game streaming, or it can be, hey, I'm out at the mall with my boys streaming for like 2 hours right now. We're eating lunch, we're buying food, we're buying this or whatever. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be pulling pranks, like it can be legit, whatever, as long as you're streaming to Kick for 40 hours a week. I guarantee you 1.5 mil a year. The last statistic I saw, I think 1 out of the 16 people he brought from their streaming areas, 1 of them cut the contract up. Had us like 16, 17, 20 people. Brought them to Miami, paid room. They didn't have to pay rent. They didn't have to pay electricity. No, hey, come here. You don't even have to bring your streaming setup. Your streaming setup is good. I'm buying you a top-of-the-line PC, giving you a room, free room and board for the first 3 to 6 months. My only requirement is to stream for 40 hours a week. And he's like, I'll give you the first month to blow your shit and not, and just do whatever you want, spend your money. He's like, we're gonna pay you, like we're gonna pay you for, I think they paid them for 6 to 8 months, just like flat rate to equal 1.5 mil a year. They're like, all right, this is your flat rate. You don't have to do shit. But after that grace period, you better be streaming 40 hours. And so everybody did that. And then when their time limit hit, they were so used to partying, they weren't streaming anymore, and like everybody lost their contract. And I'm like, bro, you could have streamed the fucking party. They didn't give a shit about monetization or anything. And I'm like, bro, I got GoPros out the ass. Send me I will fucking, you're paying me $7,000 a month. There's an IRL streaming service, Box, and everything else. $20 a month to stream one camera, live stream the camera, and then you have a PC set up at your house, and so you stream to an RTMP service, SRT service, whatever. You stream to that service. So
this is it.
No disconnection.
This is the grand finale.
Oh, last race. So you'll stream to that service, and then that acts as like this camera input.
Yeah.
So if my phone gets disconnected, I will not stop streaming. So I can stream for
shit, he's
24
got a
hours.
GTR.
If I lose connection here, I can also put on that service backup videos from previous streams. So if I lose connection or whatever, it'll see the bitrate loss, and then it'll start streaming old videos, so I don't disconnect. Whereas like if I just stream from my phone, if I disconnect, well then it drops the live stream. So, and that's what I've always been looking for and trying to do, because I want to live stream when I leave work, driving to Cameron's house, and leaving the PC online so I can stream, and then when I get here, connecting the camera and then starting the live stream here. But so it's continuous, so I get an extra 5 to 10 minutes from leaving work to come here, right? And that gives a chance for people to get on the stream and see us set up the stream and do all this other stuff. But that's like they call them IRL streamers, in real life streamers. You know, Aiden Ross and yeah, just messing around, doing pranks and shit like that. Yeah. 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 So like that's and so I'm like, shit, dude, this dude's buying you a top of the line PC. You're getting paid bukus of money. Like right now, like I don't want to pay for that service, so I'm trying to find out how to do it myself with programming. Because if I send to an RTMP and send it back here, well then there's my relay and I get it here, and then my computer streams it, right? And so, oh, you got that badass computer that he gave you. Of course, it's gonna handle that service. All right, cool. Spend $20 on a hotspot. Spend $20 on a streaming service. $40 out of $10,000 a week. That ain't shit. $40 out of $900 a week. But $900 a week plus rent plus electricity plus like all the bills you have to pay as a normal person. Like I don't know what you make a week, but I mean, you know, or a month, right? You can afford all your bills, right? That's fine. An extra $150 to do this. Yeah. They did, and it's easy to look on the outside and be like, man, they dropped the bag, because who's offering you that right now? So kind of get it, but also like, fuck, dude, I would kill for that. Like that's something that I would try to keep. Right, I mean, like, when somebody offers it to you and you don't really know and you're just like, shit, how many opportunities have people presented to me that I've passed up? They probably made millions on that I don't even talk to anymore. Have you ever thought about that?
Yay!
Did we win?
We won.
Did we finish the game?
We fucking finished the game.
I feel so proud of being here for this.
Yay! No shit.
That took forever. Well, not forever, but
Felt like forever. Well, because Cameron gave you the chip.
do what?
PS2, different controllers.
Well, no, it's just I kept restarting too. That was it. Oh look,
It slides.
yeah, it doesn't push. I guess so, because it says Legend of the Street. Whoever's driving that mean 350Z wants to take you down bad. Don't let it happen. So it's just like add more races now? Is that what's happening here?
It's just a special one, just video camera.
For my ass. So whoever's in this 350Z. Yeah. Oh man, it's gotta. I wish it was just a sprint. Then you don't have to do that many laps. Yeah, it was. Well, it just depends on how long the lap is too. Yeah, I guess this is like 112 or 111.
He was. So what's your work schedule like? One? Where at? No, yeah, no, I'm not. What school?
Please tell me.
Please, tell me. What school? Elaborate. Yeah, no, that's fine. Teacher, coach. Okay, admin, alright. Not trying to get too deep into it, but like just general field. Yeah.
He works with all the women.
He said, I'm admin. That means janitorial staff. He mops up everybody's throw up. If anybody's really asking. yeah. You ever heard Joe Dirt?
Joe Dirte.
Joe Dirt. His phlegm. Christopher Walken's role. He's on the protective
protective custody.
Protective custody, yeah.
Frankenstein never scared me. Squirrels do. They dodge. It's crazy. Stranded.
Yeah. Same. But no, well, that's what I was asking. Oh, so summer vacation. That's why you're working hard. So, how did they pay you the same as a teacher? Okay. I guess that's kind of what I was asking. Like,
and yes, it is. I work hours, and they basically divide it by 12 months.
okay.
9 months.
So it's like semi-salary, which is okay. So I have a teacher friend, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a teacher friend who works in Houston, right? And the complaint for a lot of teachers, if you don't know how teachers get paid, will make sense to you. But when you know how teachers get paid, it's like, oh, you're manipulating the system, right? So teachers technically get summer vacation. They work half a year. They get paid for 40 hours a day for half a year. And they're not required to work during the summer, whatever that is. But they have the option of taking their salary pay in a sense, and either getting paid full pay for the time they work during the school year, and not getting a paycheck during the summer. And the weeks that they don't work for holiday or whatnot, or getting paid the same paycheck every week for the year, right? So their pay will not differentiate whether they work 40 hours, 20 hours, 10 hours, 18 hours, 37 hours, 26.5 hours, whatever they decide they're going to work that week, month, whatever. their pay won't differentiate, but they will get guaranteed the same paycheck for 52 weeks. Or they can do the months that they work as a teacher, get paid their full pay, basically, right? And so they're like, oh, well, I only get paid $42,000 a year. Well, I mean, $42,000 a year is like $21 an hour. Like it's pretty good. Now, do teachers work more than that? Do they have to come in early, clock out later, grade stuff at home? Yeah, they do. A lot of teachers do that. Like
I was surprised when I saw that. Work today, got the kids, 5 minutes at home. We're there after hours, they're crazy,
yeah, I do all that. Getting to work early to make sure the kids get off the bus or out of the car safe, making it in. Like, yeah, I will admit there's a lot that they could technically not get paid for, but again, what I did say, like 42K a year. It's like $19 an hour. It's not bad pay. It's not for your average pay. It's not. I mean, I've worked for $10 an hour, making less than 30K a year and survived. I've worked for $10 an hour and had overtime and still haven't made. Oh, I was working for $5.25 an hour and not taking home enough money that the IRS would worry about me. Like all my tax income would come back to me, right? So no, are they getting paid overtime for working that amount of hours? No, they're not. But I mean, 40, 50, 60K a year. In today's economy, isn't great. It's not what it used to be, but when teachers were complaining about it, that was good money. That was really good money. Like now that I look back on it, and for having the summer off, and they were choosing to work the summer. You know, they could have the whole summer off and still make $50K a year as a teacher, like in 2002. No, that's comfortable. See, I didn't know that. Yeah, no shit. I had one of my ROTC instructors. He used to hotshot RVs and tractor trailers and stuff like that, and carry loads during the summer. And he got 100% disability VA from the Army. He got ROTC and school, whatever that minimum pay was, which has to be at least 30K, right? 30K is minimum, is still above minimum wage for 40 hours, whatever. But a school teacher, I don't know any school teacher making under 30K a year. So you gotta think, he's making 40 or 50K a year from disability, from the military, 100%. At least 30K being a teacher. And then hot shotting during the summer, which 2 months of hot shotting will net you at least 20K. So he's making 200 to 300K a year. Yeah, But I mean, his VA benefits. That's speaking on minimums, not like what he's actually getting. So minimum he's making 100K, 90 to 100K, and then it's just exponentially growing depending on the loads that he takes. Because a hot shot from here to Fort Worth may pay $2,000 to $3,000, where a hot shot from here to Las Vegas may net him $100,000. I don't know. Do a couple of those, makes a lot of money. Also, how big is his trailer? How many cars is he hot shotting or whatever, you know? And then, you know, his VA benefits, singular, will net him 40K a year. If he's got beneficiaries, if he's got a wife, he's got kids, if his wife's got kids, when he marries her or whatever, that nets him more money there. And then, you know, the school pay is probably going to be the same no matter what, within 5 to 10K. But yeah, no. So, you know, he's netting anywhere from 100 to 200. What I mean, honestly, in today's economy, like, unless you're making 100 to 150K, if you're single, you're not living comfortably until you're making 100K. Which, I mean, that might even be poor. But, it's crazy. I remember minimum wage at $5.25 an hour, and thinking that $10 an hour was fucking bankrolling shit. That shit was nice, man. Gas is $1 a gallon. Going to the movies is like $2.50 on matinee nights. 50-cent fucking matinee nights at the dollar theater. Like, yo, that's money. You got a 40-gallon tank, it costs you $40 to fill up, right? Like, you got a Honda Civic that costs you $10 to fill up. Somebody gives you $5 in gas money. You got a half a tank that's gonna last you 2 weeks. And you're like, oh man, I'm living the dream. And then you get bankrolled into that life of, holy shit, I can live paycheck to paycheck and still afford a good life, right? And then now it's like, holy shit, dude. I mean, the little Corolla I got now, I filled it up yesterday, 2 days ago. It was like $30, which isn't bad. But it's a 10-gallon tank. Gas is $3 a gallon. It's like $33 and some change. I think it's an 11-gallon tank. But the tank will last me like 3 weeks. Now, I was driving my truck that's like Cameron's truck, just the Chevy version. Maybe a little older, too. Definitely a little older. Yo, when gas prices were like $4 or $5 a gallon, I was paying $120 to fill that tank up. It's like, fuck, dude, I feel like I'm driving a diesel truck now. No shit. The Shoe Leather Express. I got $3 in gas. Well, that's a gallon. I'm gonna spend that picking you up. No shit. Trying to figure out how much of the cost to manufacture gas. I'm like, all right, cool. How many oil changes do I need to do in a year to refine this oil and turn it into gasoline and diesel? And I'm like, can I get an old IDI 5.9, an old IDI fucking Ford motor, and then just use all my used motor oil, mix it in with some transmission fluid, and run it as diesel? Because you know it runs the same. You're not gonna get the performance, but you can definitely run your engine. Fryer oil and stuff like that. Fryer oil. No, you can run it off straight fryer oil. A lot of people, because fryer oil will solidify, turn into a solid faster than motor oil or anything like that. So yeah, when it gets cold, and diesel solidifies, so that's why they They put the winterizer in diesel. Yeah, well, they'll put the block heaters, but they'll also put in, they have additives that'll keep your anti-gelators.
Damn it.
Because diesel turns into a gelatin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Is what diesel is, and they just decided, hey, we can make money off of this.
Yeah. But diesel gets way better gas mileage than fuel than gas does. So, but I mean, a diesel Prius, a diesel hybrid, hypermiler. Yo, I seen this Prius that somebody built. That they were like, oh, I don't want. I didn't build this to be a hypermiler to get better gas mileage. I built this as a hypermiler to get the same fuel mileage I got driving at faster speeds. So it's still a Prius, but a lot of hypermilers will make their car the Prius more aerodynamic. They'll put the wheel well covers so there's no wind turbulence there. Create a longer wing on the back so everything just kind of flows and doesn't create drag. So they'll reduce the coefficient of drag so they get better mileage when they're driving, right? So they'll turn a 40 to 50 mile gas Prius hybrid motor into a 100-mile hybrid motor driving 45 miles an hour. And it's like, all right, cool, you're getting 100 miles a gallon, but it's still taking you 7 hours to get to a spot. I don't know if I want to be in the car that long. So this dude said, all right, cool, that's fine. What's it gonna take to roll on the highway at 80 miles per hour and get 45, 50 miles to the gallon instead of losing gas mileage the faster I go? Which is, it's the same concept. So he took the same concept, put the same wings and everything on there. And he was like, oh shit, if I speed my car up, I get the same mileage that I would get driving lower speeds, but I can get there faster. So now I can drive 100 miles an hour and get 45, 50 miles to the gallon that I would get at 45 to 50 miles per hour. So I can go double the speed and get the same. And I'm like, I would rather that. 100%. I'd rather cruise at 100 miles an hour and get 50 miles to the gallon than drive 45 miles to the gallon and get 100 miles to the gallon. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'd way rather cruise at that high speed. Where the max speed limit is like 55. Yeah, but I'm like, hell yeah! If I'm driving from San Antonio to fucking Dallas, fuck yeah, I want to be doing 100 miles an hour and get 100 miles to the gallon. Bro, on a 10-gallon tank, I can get 1,000 miles. You're telling me I can get 1,000 miles on a 10-gallon tank. I won't have to fill up ever in the next year. I don't put 1,000 miles on my car in a month. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's legit. Yeah, let me go fucking here to Dallas and Austin all the fucking time. Yeah. Yo, make these highways autobahn. They are. I think it's been open for a little while. I know they got one from Houston to like College Station or something like that. That's already open that they've been testing, but they're supposed to be opening up more. But I'm like, you know what Texas should do? Let's say fuck it and make the tolls the autobahn. Because you know what? I'd pay for the toll tag to drive fast everywhere. Fuck yeah! You're gonna pay for a toll road to drive slow? Nah, get the fuck out of here. Nah, I'm done. If I'm paying for a toll road, I better be able to drive whatever the fuck speed limit I want. They should have a rule, like if you're paying for a toll road, autobahn, if you drive under the speed limit or the speed limit, we ban your fucking ticket. You can't get on tolls anymore. Because I like to do felonious speeds. I was coming back from Hillsborough after leaving their concert. I was doing a $1.10 until I got to Buc-ee's. And the speed limit was 30. Because I was still in city limits. I was like, bro, I gotta shit. My stomach's hurting. Buc-ee's better show up quick. It was 2 minutes away. I made it in like 30 seconds. I was like, get out of my way, go, what, no, don't talk to me. Please don't light me up, because I'm gonna shit in the cop car if you arrest me. Yeah, I was kicking kids. I wasn't pushing them. I was like, boom, barrel rolling everybody, throwing the shoulder down like I was trying to hit Tom Brady.
Have you seen that one reel where the guy's like, oh, he didn't have any toilet paper at his house, and he's like in the bathroom, and it's like his sister sits there. He's like, go away, I get out, I gotta get out of the and she's like starts crying because he's in there.
I hadn't seen that one yet.
Oh, dude, that one's hilarious. I think I did.
You probably did. I've just been like working or something. Oh yeah? What are you learning? Please don't tell me Spanish, you fucking fake Mexican. Oh shit. I didn't know they had music on Duolingo? That's crazy. That's awesome. Well, don't let it just continue for us. Do the fucking language right here on the mic. Oh, I know I called you a piece of shit Mexican, but I don't know Spanish either, so I'm a piece of shit Mexican too. No sabo. They used to call us Chicanos. That's crazy, man. I've been looking up the history, like Chicano kids, no sabo kids, no pocho, it's all like the same thing. But also Latin American history, Hispanic history in America. And I bring it up because I always got bullied, not necessarily bullied, but made fun of as a no sabo kid, as a Chicano kid, you know, not knowing Spanish and everything like that. And, oh, this is your language, and you know, my first job, full-time job, was Bush's. And like one of the biggest impacts on that was there was this Mexican dude that came in to Bush's and was speaking Spanish to me, and I was like, oh, I don't speak Spanish. Let me go to my friend Tony, and Tony, the dude got mad at me, and Tony stood up for me and was like, oh yeah, no, his parents didn't speak Spanish, like he really doesn't know. But the Mexican dude was like, oh fuck him, he doesn't like our culture. Like he was talking shit about me because I didn't know Spanish, and like that hurt me. I got made fun of in high school and stuff like that, but it was just, I felt like it was just friends, kids just talking to each other, and like he was like really upset because I didn't know Spanish, and that was also like part of a reason that I've been like fuck Spanish and this and that. But also I have a lot of history with it that I didn't realize I did. My grandpa was telling me stories when I was working with him as a younger kid, like 10, 11, 12 years old, and I got real big into zoot suits. And my grandpa was like, oh yeah, I had a couple of zoot suits, and me and one of my friends, we were out in California and this and that, and we did this, blah blah, whatever. And my grandpa could be white passing, but he was telling me a story one day about how he was out there and his best friend was getting beat up, for wearing a zoo suit, and how he was a part of the zoo suit riots.
What?
And how he jumped in and they were
Huh?
like, Justin was asleep.
Oh.
She's got the monitor on so she can watch him, so she'll call you if anything happens. But he's asleep.
So I gotta make sure my phone's
Put your
on.
monitor on. And your phone. Can you buy me a pack of cigarettes? Newports? 100s? And then I'll send you 100s. And then I'll send you the money at midnight. Because I don't get paid till midnight. I mean, if you got it. If you don't, same. Okay. Thank you. But yeah, so I religiously remember my grandpa telling me a story about the Zisu riots where his best friend was getting beat up and he stepped in and everybody that was beating up his best friend was like, oh no, he's a dirty Mexican. He's not respecting the war right now. Jump in with us. And he's like, no, that's my best friend. I'm Mexican too. And they looked at my grandpa like, no, you're white. And at the time that he was telling me this story, my grandpa's got tears in his eyes, and I've never seen, like, my grandpa's macho. He's the man. He's the one that taught me how to be a man, how to work, how to do this, how to do that. Besides my dad, like, I just always been raised around those masculine men, right? Like, but it was the first time I ever saw my grandpa cry. And I didn't realize what was going on. And then as I got older, I started to see the discrimination between Mexican Americans and not knowing Spanish and all that other stuff. And then how the Black and African American people are standing up for themselves, and how Hispanics, Mexican Americans were kind of forgotten about in history, in American history. Like, how many stories do you hear about besides, how much did you hear about Cesar Chavez? All the stories that you do hear about Mexican Americans, how much did you hear about Cesar Chavez or the Alamo that was related to Mexican or Hispanic culture or anything like that? Right? It's all slavery and African American and everything like that, and like all the don't shoot, heads up, don't shoot, and all the controversy that's going on is all black versus white, and like we've been here through that whole time. Chinese immigrants too, and all that stuff, like
The Irish immigrants too. Oh, dude, they got treated like shit
like,
too.
I was in South Carolina, and I got a shirt that says no blacks, no Irish, and no dogs. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. It's wild.
And then like the
discrimination, and I'm like, white was not white until Western colonization America, because Irish Jews are white. I mean, partially, mostly, but I mean, Jews are white.
Yeah.
Irish get discriminated on like crazy. They're white. Like,
who's this?
Germans.
Wasn't like back then it was like that. It was like you were like, you know, German, Italian, Scottish, Irish,
British.
everything is now
Everybody has their own little subculture or where they're from, and it's like, okay, those are all white, but like, and it's wild because even like I don't, because I'm not African or of African descent. I may have a little bit of whatever, but when you hear they say African American, they don't say Jamaican American or any other African tribe culture American, but you hear like the Latin and Spanish speaking community, like even in South America, like MS-13 and El Salvadorians are like, no, I'm not Mexican, I'm El Salvadorian, but it's all part of the same body of land, right? El Salvador's connected. El Salvador, Chile, they're all connected. South America, Brazil is all connected by the same piece of landmass. If you look at it, it all looks like fucking. It's all one land. It's all the America. It's all South America.
All right, what do we play next? Since I can't do nothing else,
They can't do anything else. It just wants to restart.
yeah, it wants me to restart it.
All right, what are you on? GameCube?
Yeah, all my GameCube games are in there, in that drawer.
Which drawer?
I think it's the second drawer. Yeah, second drawer from the top, I believe. All my games.
True Crime. Looks like Keanu Reeves or Zelda. They're about to come out with the fucking transgender princess from Zelda.
You want to do Twilight?
We can do that's the first one I saw. So.
It was either Twilight.
007 or WrestleMania.
That's what I was saying. You want to do Twilight or you want to do Wind Waker?
I don't care. Or,
What do you?
here, one, pick a game.
Yeah, Juan, you pick a game.
I'm actually about to get.
I know you're about to know it.
Let's see.
In this game right now, if you go on like DK Oldies or whatever, Twilight Princess for GameCube, it's going for like almost $200.
Mario Kart.
Actually, you know what? Let's do Friday one.
You want to start Twilight?
I'll start a new game.
Well, it's been fun, guys.
Alright.
How you doing?
Smash the gas. Hey, pick a 100. Yeah. HD versions are better. More content, but I just saw their stuff come up 16 seconds ago.
HD versions are better.
Don't know what that means, but
But my GameCube is modded with the highest HD you can get out of it, so.
yeah. Oh, I found so I have the Mario Wii, the red Wii. My brother gave it to me, the Mario version one. But I found a Wii adapter that goes straight to HDMI. It just looks like a USB stick, but it's got the Wii output to plug into, and then it goes into HDMI. No power port or anything. It's like $7. I'm gonna buy it, but I want to mod the Wii so I can leave it over here because it accepts all the GameCube controllers and it accepts USB controllers and it accepts Bluetooth too.
Yeah, my mom's got one at her house that takes GameCube games.
Yeah. That Wii takes GameCube games too. So, but I can mod it to where I can put all of the GameCube games on a SD drive or a USB hard drive, and then we won't have to swap games out like this. And we're already playing on GameCube anyways, so that'll take the controllers, and we can it'll be our universal console. But I think that the PC that I'm getting, RetroArch, and I'll be able to put all the consoles and everything on there up to
Gil's thing.
PS1.
Gil from 2008.
Who's Gil?
Oh, he's one of our buddies.
Alright.
I guess I'm trying to think which one.
So just right over Gills.
Crazy thing about Zoot Suit Riots. I was in a conversation, probably an argument, with somebody I went to school with about racial times or whatever, and how today's racial times with hands up, don't shoot, BLM and everything like that is no different than times before, and whatever. Like, I believe that we are no more racist today than we were when the KKK and the cross burnings were happening. It's just more visual now. It's more foreseeable, be able to point out now than it was back then, right? Just like energy doesn't die or grow, it just transfers, right? And so we were having this conversation about how yes, no, this happens, it doesn't. Oh, well, you're missing this point, you're missing that point, and I was like, okay, we're both Hispanic, we're both Mexican guys, right? We're both No Sabo kids, whatever, we're this and that, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's cool. But you remember Zusu riots? He's like, yeah, Mexicans, whatever this, we got beat up, and I was like, so what's your view on it? He was like, oh, we got beat up for this and that and defying the war, and I was like, no. You want to know why Mexicans got beat up and killed during the Zoo Suit riots? For wearing too many clothes. You know how dumb that sounds? There was a cotton shortage. They manufactured a cotton shortage during World War II. And because Mexicans couldn't buy clothes firsthand, properly, to wear to work or to wear out or to do anything, they were forced to buy oversized clothes. And so they went and bought all these oversized clothes. And then, because Mexicans were the top seamstress and everything, well, they just had all their oversized clothes altered to fit them. So the zoot suit is not like somebody's design. The zoot suit was a necessity because somebody couldn't buy a suit to go to prom or to go to their wedding that fit them because a racist motherfucker wouldn't allow them to buy a tuxedo, so they had to go to the Goodwill or somewhere else and buy a suit that was oversized and have their grandmother taper it down to fit them. And then because they did that, the military and the government were like, anybody who is wearing excessive clothing is against the war in Vietnam, is against this war or whatever. We need to save all this cotton and all this wool to send overseas so they can make uniforms for the military members. So if you see anybody in excessive cotton or baggy clothes or big stuff, beat them up and take the clothes off of them. So that's how the Zoo Suit riots happened. That's how Mexicans got beat to death. And you probably never heard it portrayed to you that way, because I had never heard it portrayed to me that way until I researched it and I looked into it, until my grandpa told me what happened to him that day. And when you hear it out loud, it sounds petty and dumb as fuck. Like, it's like, nobody would ever fight somebody for wearing too many clothes. But that was the whole reason of the Zoo Suit riots. You're wearing too much fabric on your body that could be going to the soldiers overseas. So fuck you. You don't support America. I'm gonna beat you up. And that's our culture. People beat your grandparents up for that. It's I don't know, I'm upset for myself because my grandpa told me that story and I was young, I didn't realize, like, he was telling me like he got beat up for claiming Mexican. I mean, for being Mexican, but my grandpa could be white passing, so he could have easily said, "Oh no, I'm white. I don't know, that's somebody I work with," and been fine. He chose, "No, I'm Mexican too. That's my brother. Like, what are y'all doing?" And he got beat. And I didn't understand what he was saying at the time. And I just want to portray that to anybody who doesn't know, like, we were there. Don't let anybody say it was just black and white. We were there. And our family fought for us to be here. And they fought for us to be in the position that we're in today. Alright. Thanks for coming out. Love you.
Alright, man. You gonna come by next week too, or?
Yeah, we'll be here anytime you want to come out. You don't have to come out next week, but if you want to, we'll be here. Tomorrow, whenever my check hits, I'm buying that other PC, so I'll try to stop by earlier to get it all set up.
Okay. I'll let you guys know, alright?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. Alright, man.
Well, one's gone, but I got a little emotional. But I do appreciate it, man. It's a different story. And I know my grandpa didn't want me to feel bad, and you heard? Did you hear it, Cameron?
I was listening, and it's just.
I know I talk a lot of shit. I know I bring up white privilege and everything else like that. Whatever. I'm joking around. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I do believe, but I mean, Cameron's my best friend. Silas is my best friend. Juan, being out here is cool to talk to. Everything like that. He's a really good dude. If I saw him more, he would be my best friend. There's. Alright. It's all great, but I mean, just reflecting back on that scenario, knowing that my grandpa was a part of those shoot riots, and that he got beat up, and then I had somebody who the person that we were talking about, he was talking shit about me for not knowing Spanish and not trying to be a part of the culture and oh, you're not Mexican. Oh, you support Donald Trump or whatever, and you're not really Mexican. You're not this. You're not. We struggled for all of this, and you're against us because you voted for whatever person. And I'm like, no, like my grandpa. Like you're just talking. My grandpa went through it, and I didn't even realize what he went through because I was young and dumb. The strongest man in my life never cried in front of me. Amazing man. Not even my blood grandpa. When I tell you this man was, as a man, you know what I'm talking about. If you have a good manly figure in your life, you know, they don't have to be blood related. You just know, like that's the fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
one day, probably about 15. Yeah, because it was right before prom, and I was like, oh, I want to buy a zoot suit. And I promise you, it was just that wording. The zoot suit. He's like, oh, yeah, I used to have zoot suits. And then he just broke down. He was crying, like not like bawling or anything. He was just, there was tears rolling out of his eyes.
Yeah.
He was driving a truck in California. Leaving the bar with his buddy, and his buddy looked too Mexican. Buddy wasn't even wearing, like the way my grandpa describes it.
Yeah.
Buddy wasn't wearing too many clothes. Not like he was wearing a zoot or anything. Wearing normal clothes, maybe a little bit baggy, but just, you know, you got Dwight Yoakam skin tight jeans, and then you got your Wrangler regular wear. So basically, this dude was wearing Wrangler regular wear. Just a little loose fitting, but not outrageous. And walking out of the bar, and it's crazy.
Hello. Yeah, he gets menthol. The menthol Newport.
Yeah, Newports are menthol 100s.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his buddy just came out, and it's crazy with me like being a Marine, and at that time like Navy was the big port, or like whoever you saw out was the Navy, mostly sailors. But his buddy got attacked by a group of Navy guys. And then when he went in to defend them, because like I said, my grandpa could be white passing, they said, oh no, fuck this dude, he's anti-military, anti-American, because he's brown, he's too dark, and he's wearing too many clothes. My grandpa said, he's wearing my pants and my t-shirt. We're wearing the same outfit. How is he anti-American? They said, oh, well, he's brown, so we told him not to stand up to us. And he just, and my grandpa was like, no, I was out here the whole time. And then they started fighting my grandpa. And maybe that's why I have a rebellious attitude. Both sides of my family. I don't do good with bad morals, bad liars, or people who try to justify their actions with lies. You think that's genetic?
No, I don't think so.
I do. Like, I think it should just be morally right to like not trust people. But I think the rebellion aspect, and not just like to rebel against anybody, but I think to rebel against known wrongs, like to be able to stand up to somebody with confidence, not just because you're standing up, but standing up because you know they're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think there could be a genetic disposition to allow somebody to be like, no, if I know they're wrong, I'm going to stand up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I don't know about blew bad breath in your face. I just.
No, you didn't.
See that in the live action Zelda, the actor that they're trying to get to play Zelda is a trans. So it's actually an actor, not an actress, because Zelda is a woman and Link, the character that you see on the front of the cartridge, is a man and not Zelda.
Well, that's what everyone always got wrong. They thought Zelda was Link.
Yeah.
I remember that in the day. I remember way.
Oh, I
back in the
did.
day.
I did too. At a young age, I was like, oh, Zelda. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Yeah. That's the blonde dude. And the cartridge. And they're like, no, that's Link. Zelda is Princess Zelda. And I was like, oh. Yeah. It's really confusing.
Why won't let me do nothing? Or that's what I'm supposed to do. Guess not.
Be again. Yeah, got it. I just got ready. I'm about to put an offer on that Alienware PC.
Yeah.
Check it out. Alright, let's see if they accept the offer. But if they do, I got you. I got a 256 SSD and 3.5 hard drive. Gonna go on there, it'd be pretty fast. 16 gigs of RAM, whatever graphics card they got should be good for both of these. 100% would say. One TV stand, because you have a big old square opening right there, so you get a wall mount for another TV, like one of those 32 inches, right there. That PC would honestly go amazingly well over this leg behind the TV. Then you would never have to see it. With a couple USB extensions, which I have those there, and I may have some other USB extensions as well. But I just need to be able to plug in one camera, which if you had that back there, I could run the cable up to the camera. No, well, not that one. The other PC that I'm bringing, we could run back there. That PC you could go up there by your laptop, run inside. That would go right back to you. Delete all of my programs and everything off of it. Run it with Windows 10. Load all your other apps and everything off of it from my hard drive, and then that's you wouldn't even have to worry about that PC anymore.
Well, I still got to transfer everything back onto that computer from that external hard drive.
Yeah, but that'll be that. Now the Alienware one that I'm trying to purchase, that's the one I want back here, because even though it's only a year or two older than this one, I know that it'll run everything that we need without the issues, because I'm already running it on mine. Want me to grab you a couple vodka and some
No, I'm good. It's already 11.
Yeah, that computer just wasn't accepting my camera inputs. wild. This dude is completely messing up the sheetrock job on this essentially 17 angle. And in the beginning, it like first couple curves doesn't look that bad, but then it just like keeps messing up the sheetrock and breaking and doing everything, and then goes down and just keep adding pieces and pieces. And at the end of the day, like, it's bad, and like you would never want to walk into your sheetrock guy doing that. But if you know sheetrock and you know the spread and everything you put on it to smooth it out, it's like Bondo and everything like that.
The mud.
The mud,
tape
yeah.
Floated, yeah.
You don't have to be that precise. You don't have to be that precise.
No, we had to tape and float this.
Yeah, you can float the mud and everything and like make it work. Whereas like Bondo would really suck on a car because that's adding a lot of weight. But in your restroom, you're trying to make a curb. You don't have to make your sheetrock fit that curb perfectly.
Well, the other thing too is like in a bathroom, you're not going to use regular sheetrock. You got to use that concrete board.
That concrete board and everything like that. But at the end of the day, even if you sheetrock it and everything like that, you can put more sealer over it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As long as you get it smooth and looking good.
I think his wife
His
called.
wife was texting him.
No, he just talked. He was just having a conversation with Romero.
We were chatting. We were trying to keep the conversation going. We don't have any video here, but I think I'm picking up a computer so that we can have video here. Your old computer is not allowing us to have a camera.
So it's just audio?
Yeah, audio and the gameplay.
$10? What the hell? That's a whole week of berries for Joseph.
Pretty much.
And then I'll throw you $20 so you can get berries for Joseph too. But thank you, I appreciate it.